My name is James Rowlands. In 2015, I teamed up with my friend Dan White to create the WNR podcast. Since then, we have been giving you everything that's happened on the WWE Network. Now, in 2018, not only are we live for the Big Four events and every NXT Takeover, but we celebrate 20 years since the birth of the Attitude Era. Plus, every month we'll bring you 205 Live, collections, new content, W pay-per-views and latest news on the WWE Network. Until we've watched everything, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by
Dan White.
And today it's the WNR178, it's a WWE Network review for September. But before we do anything, let's start with the alternate intro. Revolution means change, don't look at me strange, so I can't repeat what other rappers be saying. You don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Harder than you think, it's a beautiful thing. Get up just like that. That is Public Enemy, Harder Than You Think. I was going to do more, but I'll leave it as that. What's the intro, Dan?
Every month, we review the latest content on the WWE Network, including collections, new programs, 205 Live, all the latest news, and the crown in the jewel of the WNR, the NXT update.
Yes, but we start things off with the latest collections. So, September collections for WWE. The very first one is Stephanie McMahon, All Business. Born into the WWE, Stephanie McMahon worked roles on the way to become one of the most powerful women in sports. Now is your chance to hear from the chief brand officer herself and learn what it takes to get to the top as she sits down for an exclusive interview in this WWE Network collection. On screen, Miss McMahon's only daughter has an impressive list of accomplishments. Women's champion, SmackDown general manager, one half of the Authority and current Raw commissioner. But her behind-the-scenes contributions continue to set standard in all the WWE. As CBO, Stephanie McMahon drives various brands initiatives and McMahon's world with WWE's women's Evoloution.
Oh, yeah, remember that classic match she had with her dad?
Yeah, well, yeah, I do you know what? That was sickening because McMahon choked her out with a lead pipe in that one. That was no mercy. Her earliest appearance as well, where she was going to be sacrificed by The Undertaker. I remember that. Got on the crucifix and Austin saving her. McMahon helms the era where she finally turned on Vince McMahon at Armageddon and sided with, well, not her then, Triple H, and of course all throughout there. What was your favourite Stephanie, if you had to pick a Stephanie you liked the most?
I don't know, I think it was when she joined with Shane. And, you know, they became the face of WCW/ECW.
The Alliance, and
the Alliance.
She owned ECW. Yeah, and it's interesting because her feud with Jericho as well, where it seemed to be her problem. Like the McMahon's kind of paired off, obviously, with Vince and Austin. Shane kind of had problems with The Rock, and it was Stephanie with Jericho. And then them getting together in the end. Stephanie, I could give or take it, you know. I don't mind them in small doses. I don't like the fact that Women's Evolution is kind of, you know, all down to Stephanie, but at least they're doing it, you know. So
yeah, you know, I'm with you. I don't think it should all be about Stephanie. I think it should be about the women that have made it what it is. You know, your Trish Stratus's, your Mickie James's, you know, and even far back as Mae Young, and not the Fabulous Moolah because she's a cunt.
Well, our next collection.
Well, yes, up next we've got the Hardys Team Extreme, and behold the twist of fate and don't be deleted. Relive the very best of the Hardys with this WWE Network collection. Team Extreme signature high risk style and never say die attitude has made them one of WWE's most teams. Witness Matt and Jeff's most defining moments and epic encounters, from groundbreaking TLC matches with Edge and Christian and the Dudleys to their triumphant return at WrestleMania 33. Whether leading the charge in the tag team division of the Attitude Era or reinventing themselves over a decade later, experience why this definitive collection truly is Wonderful! Wow!
Well, the Hardys were number one on our list of WNR top tag teams of all time. You know, and there's a reason for it. Just going through this collection, the ladder match between the Hardys and Edge and Christian at No Mercy 1999 is a fantastic effort for these guys, especially when you look at the crowd. They are not into it to begin with, but by the end they are given standing ovations. The tables match the Hardys had with the Dudleys at Royal Rumble 2000, I think, is really, really underrated. And plus a lot of other stuff that Hardy did. It wasn't all just about big stunts, you know. It was just the kind of about your connection to them, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it was with the
even had brother versus brother at Vengeance 2001 when Lita was the guest referee, you know, and even against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I mean, they're the kind of, they got tasked with putting Brock Lesnar over when Lesnar first debuted in 2002, and it was handicap matches with Lesnar just beating him up. And the Hardys have been for a hell of a lot. Like WrestleMania 25, it was Matt versus Jeff in a no holds barred match, so to speak. So, you know, there's a lot of history, and then coming back, and of course that moment at WrestleMania in the ladder match and everything they've kind of done since. But our next collection is new classic content for September 2018. Exclusively on the network, experience 50 new hours of WWE's very first weekly televised series, All-Star Wrestling. Venture back to the old Hamburg Fieldhouse and witness the origins of WWE Hall of Famers like Pedro Morales, Jesse the Body Ventura, Sergeant Slaughter, Hulk Hogan and many more. Get a small taste through this classic content collection featuring 10 prominent episodes of the WWE All-Star Wrestling from 1980 to 1982. And I mean, just one match there down to everybody whet their appetite with.
Jim Duggan takes on the fabulous Hulk Hogan, which would be, you know, I think that would be a great match. You've got Don Morocco going against Pedro Morales for the Intercontinental Championship. Time going against Pedro Morales for the IC title again. There's loads, you know, Bob Backlund going against Hans Schroeder.
Yeah, well, Hans Schroeder is very famous submissions. But like I said, the Intercontinental title feud between Don Morocco and Pedro Morales is kind of infamous. Go back and watch that. The fabulous Hulk Hogan before become the immortal Hulk Hogan as well. So there is a lot of history. Collections coming soon or in October. Oh, we're actually getting more collections this month as well.
Kurt Hawkins, Nothing to Lose, September the 17th.
We've got The Undertaker versus Triple H, which is September 27th.
Stone Cold versus McMahon, Part 3, coming in October.
And, of course, The $1 Million Man, coming in October. All right, so collections, and for the Kurt Hawkins, Nothing to Lose, WWE Network collection.
Well, Kurt Hawkins, Nothing to Lose. In life, everyone loses. But with over 200 straight losses, no one has learned more from losing than Kurt Hawkins. Join the self-proclaimed Prince of Queens for a unique look at some of the most devastating losses in the history of WWE, to see why all these setbacks simply present an opportunity to get better. So, when you feel down, pick yourself up, dust yourself off. There's no shame in defeat when there's nothing to lose.
So that's something that's going to keep me happy at the moment, because the reason why the delay on the podcast, you should just mention it quickly, is Dan got arrested. we had to delay it. No, we didn't. No, I've been quite ill recently. So
James, no one cares.
No, I'm just going to tell him. They do care.
They still don't care.
They do care. They do. No, so yeah, I've not been well recently. So if I'm not well, it means the podcast does grind to a halt. So that's why we're a week behind at the moment, but we plan.
So James, how sick are you? Well, the other day I woke up in bed next to my mum.
I'm not going to go into details about why I've been ill. So, you know, like I say, it's a personal matter.
It's been coming out both ends, literally. Whoop, whoop,
no, it's a bit more serious than that. But yeah, we move on. And like I say, we've got a lot to cover and a lot to bring you still. And we hope to catch up. So there's a little bit of delay on these podcasts. And hope, you know, let's hope we can get things sorted by then. So new content. So it's August 20th to September 14th, which was our cut-off for new content on WWE Network. And we had W40 shoot 20th of August, which was The Flares. Did you watch that?
I watched it, yes.
What did you think?
It was more of a promo for the WWE 2K game, but there was a few interesting pictures. I can't remember what happened. It was a while ago that I watched it.
But you did watch it?
But I did watch it,
Good.
yes.
W Music Power 10, which is the 20th of August, which is basically all the great entrances of the month. No Bob Marine Day, was there? Yeah.
I got against the Ascension.
All right, we had WWE Story Time. Episode 2 was How Embarrassing.
2. Episode 3 was Strange Settings.
And episode 4, New Beginnings, which was the 10th of September.
I've watched a few of these WWE Story Times. There's about 3 or 4 stories per episode. I think the episode's only going for about 20 minutes, if that. There's some quite funny ones. I think one that stands out is Ric Flair's one where he was on an he was on a flight. I don't know if you've seen this one, but people loved Ric Flair. Like there was about 4, 5, 6 beautiful stewardesses and they was going on about the robe. Oh yeah, we love the robe. And he says, well, I can't wear the robe. I've got my clothes on. They're like, I'll take your clothes off. And of course, Flair doesn't need to be told twice to do things like that. So he goes back and he's stark bollock naked underneath his outfit, and that's where the story ends. Unfortunately, he doesn't go into too much detail about what happened.
I wonder what happened after that. Yeah, like I said, I mean it's a bit hit and miss, isn't it? So that's not a miss, and it's definitely a hit for me, which is 17th of August. Insight into Joe on the path to SummerSlam, much like he did with Nakamura in his path to WrestleMania. This just kind of showed Joe on the road, and I think some of that guy who's been working as hard as he has to show what it takes to actually make it at the top. I think it's a great little insight, We had Hidden Gems as well.
Yes, and that was Star Wars WCCW, February 22nd, 1981. It's basically their version of WrestleMania.
Yeah, I really do love the Hidden Gems at the moment. We had the Future in Florida, which is Ambrose and Sandow versus Cesaro and Rollins.
Yeah, some more on WWE Hidden Gems are on the way. Last week we saw 2 uploads that centred around Mae Young Classic stars from years gone past. And Hiroyo Matsumoto was one of them.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to watch now quickly. It's, like I said, Meiko Satomura teaming with Hall of Famer Medusa. And these are little things that maybe people didn't know about that are on the network. And we talked being kind of veteran on the Matsumoto being a kind of legend on the... I've not been well, Dan, on the WWE Network. So we've not, seen them for 20 years. And this is going back to... WCW Saturday night called Sonny Ono coming down the ring with Akira Hakoto, and I'll let you pronounce these. I know you love Japanese names.
Carrillo, and
it's a weird little bunch. I mean, in 1995, WCW did try the women's division, and so this is what we're going to see here. Saturday night was their kind of second show. Was their first show until Nitro came around, and they're not going to be happy. But like you talked about Hidden Gems, this week's similar, but with 3 new gems. 2 videos will feature Mae Young Classic commentators, while 1 features the Mae Young Classic star. The 2 matches come from development and highlight Beth Phoenix and Caitlyn, but also feature the likes of Katie Lee, Rosa Mendez, and TNA's One Dirty Bitch. Third video features Raw and Mae Young Classic commentator Renee Young's audition tape for the company.
Well, below are the 3 WWE Hidden Gems coming this week, and that is OVW. 14th of October 2006, and that is Legend of the Phoenix. And WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix defends her OVW Women's Championship against ODB and Kate Lee in a triple threat action. Yeah, we got FCW, which was 16th of January, forging a path. Prior to becoming mainstays in WWE's women's division for several years, Caitlyn and Rosa Mendez face off in this contest from FCW. February, March, April, May, June. 8th of June 2012, Thinking on Your Feet, Renee Young demonstrates her incredible gift of gab in this rarely seen audition tape from the start of her career in WWE. Mostly, I remember Eric Bischoff's one that he had in WWF. It was Vince McMahon said, there's a pen, sell it to me. You sell me this pen, and if you can sell me the pen, then you can become a commentator. You obviously failed at that, but with Renee Young's audition, she was a little bit more successful. Well, sell me the pen. It's like, well, I'll give you £1 million if you can write your name on this bit of paper. Well, I haven't got a pen. Would you want to buy mine for $2 million? Ah, there you go. Well, this match has started on Hidden Gems, and Matsumoto started this one, but now just been taken over by the heels. And this does not look good at all. Double boot to the face. Referee's got control of this. Like I said, Medusa, that's an excellent point. Former Hall of Famer, women's champion in the WWF. More famously came over to WCW in the fall and threw the WWE Women's Championship in the bin, a kind of sign of disrespect there. And the WWF Women's Championship wasn't used again until 1998. You see, they had the effect that had on the industry at that time. But at this moment in time,
it's Matsumoto getting worked on by Hokuto and Kahua. Oh, they're taunting her. I say, come on, Medusa, do you want to tag?
No, you don't.
Well, Matsumoto in all sorts of trouble at the moment. And the Hills want to end this Irish whip.
Oh, but Matsumoto comes across with a flying crossbody. Can she get the tag in to Medusa?
Yeah, we go. Hot tag. She's on fire, baby. And Medusa now going straight in. Straight in. She's not messing about.
Puts her head between her legs. Oh, but a shift in momentum gets the... can she kick out?
Oh, she does barely. Well, that didn't look pretty, but now the Hills are going to team up with Medusa. Finish her off.
And we got Cassie Sono's dad on the outside. Sonny.
Nice double clothesline there by Medusa. Is that actually Sonny? Is that Cassie Sono? You learn thing every day. And oh my god, look at this. Oh my god. Matsumoto and Medusa just get taken out by the Hills.
I believe Sonny Ono has something to do with that, but Matsumoto's left alone in the ring. Gets caught by one off the top.
Beautiful scent on them. Medusa going after Ono.
Oh, taken out by the other.
Big drop kick, but it's still not finished for her yet. Northern Lights 1, 2, 3. Wow, they lost that one. Unlucky for Mika Satomura and Medusa, but well done here, Akira Kotu and Kura. You do feature on the WWE Network review, so fair play to you girls. So Hidden Gems, here we go. So WWE Hidden Gems, they new ones come every Thursday, and this one's quite a special one. I think we'll watch it. It's from July 9th, 2001, and it is AJ Styles' WWE debut in a dark match. So it's just before Access for anything else comes on, and we think about the kind of history that AJ Styles has now, like 45% not holding the WWE Championship, and now look at him. Is this the AJ Styles you remember?
It is, yes. He's gone from a rebellious kid, and now he looks like the mother of a rebellious kid.
Yeah, he's got the short trunks, short hair, and they got an AJ we know. He's going against, I think, Jason Stryker.
No, Rick Michaels.
Rick Michaels in this one. I don't know where that fuck name comes from. Here we go, collar and elbow taps to start. You can see how dead the crowd are. You got the security coming around.
If only they knew.
I know, exactly. Do you think anybody thought, oh yeah, this man's going to be W champion in 17 years' time? And that's not Rick Michaels. Big hip toss takeover from AJ. Another hip toss. He's selling that well. Now a clothesline. No, big boot, and he does the flip. So you see, that's what Styles can do.
Well, Rick Michaels, he made his debut November the 10th, 1991, sorry. He debuted for ECW under the gimmick of Super Ninja and lost to Hurricane Curry. PWF, 93 to 99. NWA, Bad Attitude, 99 to 2001. WWE, 2004 to 2005. He was hired by WWE as a tailor, but was released from his contract in 2005. He returned to WWE in 2007 after a hiatus, and he's still wrestling now. He was ranked 379th for the top 500 singles wrestlers in the PWI 500 in 2002. Wow. NWA Tag Team Champion with David Young. NWA Hillside Tag Team Champion twice with David Young.
Couple of drop kicks by AJ Styles there. Well, triple threat or hat trick of drop kicks. But Rick Michaels has taken control. Nice ripping AJ, but AJ
catching him going behind, roll up, 2. Oh, but a kick out by Michaels. Drop toe hold.
Styles going for the cover after that, but Michaels gets strolled up at 2.
2.
Now side headlock by AJ.
Turned into a backdrop there from Michaels.
Thing is, weird no commentary as well. On the actual videotape, you can see the kind of timer. And obviously the picture's not great either, but AJ throws him in a corner.
Wow, literally steps on his chest and springboards off. It gets turned into like a pop-up jawbreaker and followed up by a super kick, turns Styles inside out. And the fans are actually starting to...
There we go. See AJ starting to get a few fans. Michaels picks him up, slams him down. There is no way that man in the ring would become WWE champion by the look of him. Here, Michaels off the top.
Gets caught by Styles, who lifts the boot. Right hand blocked by Styles, who delivers a right of his own. Clotheslines Michaels down. Oh, looking for the Styles clash. Hits it.
Oh, and that gets a reaction from the crowd as well.
Rolls him over, but it goes too far.
He's not finished for him. He could go for the cover. And he's going up. Oh!
Shooting star 1, 2, 3. And Styles getting a victory. They don't want none.
No, the fans seem to be enjoying AJ Styles there. I mean, what could have been if they had signed him after this performance and used him, in the cruiserweight division? It would have probably been completely different to what it was, But instead, he had that career outside.
Yeah, I think that works better for him because, if he'd have come in 2001, it was at the end of the Attitude Era, start of the Ruthless Era. I think he would have been outshadowed by a few of the existing wrestlers. Whereas now, going away and then coming back an even bigger name than he would have been in WWE, I think.
Yeah, no, I have to completely agree with you there, but it's quite good. That's what Hidden Gems are good about. You can go back and look and have a lot of what ifs as well. If it could have happened or not, and there's a lot of stuff like that. With wrestlers going into either the development leagues or even other promotions. Scott Hall in ECW and stuff like that. People might not think actually happened. But we move on and we start 205 Live, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back and watch the Cruiserweight title match that happened on Summers. We didn't watch it. We were a little bit busy doing something then. Now, what were we doing that day? I can't really remember.
We were doing our live show.
Oh, yeah, we're doing our live shows. So we were doing that. So we didn't see the Cruiserweight title match in its entirety. So we're going to watch it now, go and commentate, and see how good it was. I'm going to go Cedric Alexander in this one, though. I
think there's going to be a new champion, and it is going to be... No, I'm done.
Do you want a bonus point on the line, please?
Do you want to go fuck yourself?
All right, maybe not then. So we start off with this one. We've seen the feud leading up to Alexander versus Gulak. Gulak being using Jack Haha and Brian Kendrick to kind of attack Cedric, but they are barred from ringside tonight. They're banned. It's banned and barred, the same thing, isn't it? So they're whatever it is, they're not allowed to be at ringside. So in a one-on-one contest, the question is, can Gulak beat Cedric Alexander? What are your thoughts of Cedric's Cruiserweight title reign?
I think he's been good. He's probably been one of the most impressive Cruiserweight champions that we've seen. Obviously there's not a hard mantle to follow with some of the shambles that have been champion, and I use that term loosely.
Well, don't be so hard on Neville. I don't know if Alexander's had a great Cruiserweight title reign, the former champions as that, but has he really delivered kind of great matches? I remember Cruiserweight title match against Buddy Murphy, but apart from that, I don't really think anything else, and he's not really been featured on pay-per-views as such. This is the first pay-per-view that he'll be featured on since the greatest Royal Rumble, so it'll be interesting to see if that can actually have an impact here. And Drew going for the Gulak, but Alexander's so quick.
I think he was kind of capitalising on a small mistake there by Cedric Alexander after he missed the head scissors takedown. But very innovative of Gulak. Now both men have gone to the outside, and Alexander just slaps Gulak down to the wafer thin mats.
No, there's no doubt Cedric is the cooker mun when it comes to a fight between these two. And I think this is what Gulak has to kind of stop. If you look at the keys to victory here, got to try and slow down Ced. Make sure he's not got such explosive quickness as he has. The striking of Cedric's good as well. I appreciate that. And plus the lumbar check, probably one of the most dangerous moves. I would probably say in WWE. It depends how someone takes a lumbar check. I think Brian Kendrick takes it perfectly because he goes flying off into the distance. I think that is quite impressive. Whereas with a bigger man, I don't know if he'll be able to actually hit it. But then again, he is in the Cruiserweight division at this moment in time.
Yeah. But then, you've got the lumbar check. That's not much different to card stabber.
But Gulak there, scouting Cedric Alexander, caught him jumping in, touched him on the apron, brought him down.
One man flapjack onto the edge of the ring. Now Ced's in trouble.
And Gulak throws Cedric back in. Looking to wear him down. He knows about the heart and determination of Cedric. Let's not forget he won the title at WrestleMania. So what are your thoughts on Drew Gulak then? Are you a fan?
I did like his gimmick beforehand with the PowerPoint and that, but then, it's kind of going down the same routes as Elias. I know, like, they're different styles, but, you've got one playing a guitar that constantly gets interrupted. You've got one trying to do a PowerPoint that's interrupted. There's not a lot of difference. I it was fun, but, there's only so much you can go on the no-fly zone and before it gets like he's, going over and over the same thing at the same time.
Yeah, and becoming a comedy character, I think that is a problem. I think that's why they brought out the kind of aggressive side to Drew Gulak, trying to save him that way. I think it works with maybe Jack Gallagher because of a bit more imposing as well, whereas Jack, we want him to be a face. Whereas with Gulak, I think he could be a face and a bit goofy and stuff like that. It would be cool. But I do like the kind of killer. And it is impressive when a guy can play kind of all the roles. We saw Kurt Angle beforehand, talk to Drake Maverick and Paige. And he's a guy that could play the clown, couldn't he? He could play the killer. He could play the kind of hero, kind of snivelling heel as well. And it's good when a wrestler can do that. It's not slight anybody that can't. It just means that you get accustomed to it more. And I think with Gulak being able to do that, it will give him more chances in WWE, And he's not the kind of smallest of cruiserweights either, so I think he's going to have a chance on the main roster if they ever do that. Cedric gets thrown on the apron.
Lands on his feet, though, and catches Gulak. Sends him face first into the mat.
Was that desperation or was that just a plan move? Gulak seems more upset than hurt by it.
Alexander's taken to using a Spanish fly recently, though, isn't he?
No,
as opposed to the lumbar check.
He loves using that move. He's beat Jack Gallagher on 205 Live with it. Keeps the boot up. Elbow to the face of Gulak. Just comes running in. Rocking Gulak. Now takes him down.
Irish whip reversed. Oh, but Gulak catches him by the throat and just takes him down and starts wailing away at his head. Psyching himself up.
He has got a little bit of fire in him. That's what I like about Alexander. He's not too bland, I think there is a little bit more of an aggressive side you can maybe get out of him. And with the strikes that he delivers as well, they are vicious, don't get me wrong. Big chop to Gulak. Irish whip, but Drew holds on top rope. Rolls out of harm's way, or does he?
Oh, Gulak sailing over the top rope, taking out... Alexander sailing over the top rope, taking out Gulak. But has he injured himself on the way down as well?
No, the pressure and attack that Gulak is given to that neck of Cedric, it must hurt him, but Alexander is going to give everything he's got to continue his cruiserweight title reign. Well, Gulak might have hyperextended that shoulder down.
Potentially, yes. And you don't want to hyperextend anything.
No. Cedric fighting Gulak on an apron, and Gulak winning at the moment with those forearms.
Step up in Seguri, sends Gulak back. Alexander board in, but gets his feet swept from underneath him by Gulak.
Well, now Gulak's got him. He's got the Gulak.
Over the top rope.
Oh, my God. Tap out, Cedric.
It wouldn't count, James.
Tap out, Cedric.
It wouldn't count, James. He's over the ropes.
He's passed out. We've got a new cruiserweight champion. Drew brings him in, goes for the cover. This is it. Over. Oh.
Alexander managing to kick out.
Now Gulak
drags him into the ring. Now he's getting the Gulak locked in.
And can he clasp his hands around Alexander? Alexander trying to turn it.
He's trying to counter it to like a hammerlock.
Who's got the most power? Looks like Gulak has.
Now Alexander managed to turn it.
Oh.
Spinning back elbow just drops Gulak where he stands. Alexander trying to call over to the corner for a tag to his partner, but he hasn't got a partner, so that wouldn't matter.
No, but maybe his partner are the thousands in attendance all cheering, Cedric, 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 trying to get him into this cruiserweight title match. He's finally got some separation after a while. Maybe Gulak thinks, I can't beat this man. Alexander that's going to take it up a level.
Well, Gulak swinging wildly. Alexander ducking and dodging and hitting a few of his own strikes.
Oh, Gulak catches Alexander. Oh!
Catches him by the jaw and just swings a big right at him, rocks Alexander to the mat. Said seeing stars.
It is. Irish whip reverse. Alexander leapfrog, but Gulak catches him. Sunset flip. No. Gets up at 2.
2.
And then test your strength. Gulak manages to turn Cedric round. Can he? Whoever drops to the knees first will have the advantage.
Neither of them, because Alexander gets out. Handspring. Looking for the enziguri, but gets caught in an ankle lock.
Oh, my word. Alexander turns him through. 1, 2. Oh.
Spanish fly. Drew. 2. Oh. Alexander rolls through.
And he's still trying to get... Oh, Gulak over. Gulak, though, sits down on him. No. 1, 2, 3.
And that was it. Catch him. Did he have a handful of tights there?
Well, maybe, to get one over on Gulak, he had to cheat, and Cedric got out of that one alive somehow. I mean, not a bad match, though, was it?
It wasn't, no. It was very finger on the pulse at all times, and both men putting it out. And it kind of leaves it open. And it kind of leaves it open for a potential rematch from Drew Gulak within reason as well, because it wasn't finished decisively. It was, it was kind of finished under sort of shady circumstances by a cheeky pin.
Yeah, without doubt, and I think both men did the closing sequence was really, really good between the two. They showed a lot of chemistry. I wouldn't mind seeing the match down the line, So let's move on to our first episode, 205 Live.
Yes, that is episode 91 on August the 21st. DM the SummerSlam kickoff title as a huge success for 205 Live, but runs down tonight's huge show, recapping the first 2 matches between Dar and TJP, and promises a tornado tag will be one of the best matches in the brand's history.
Well, Vic Joseph, Percy Jackson / Watson, and Nigel McGuinness welcome well to tonight's 4-man booth. He's excited to come off New Day's win at the end of SmackDown and pumped for tonight, but he doesn't know the Crews are great.
The 2-8 champ is out with a remixed 8-bit free theme. He says he's glad this match will be over quickly so he can get back to enjoying the greatest city in the world, his hometown of Los Angeles. It's going to be quick because Dar's recovering from knee surgery and his finisher is the knee bar.
So it is Noam Dar versus TJP. Perkins gets the early advantage and grabs a mic to welcome Whale, who's been getting TJ's name wrong since he came out, despite breaking down Noam Dar's history with Alicia Fox. He punks him on a fist bump and dabs on him, which prompts Whale to say nobody dabs anymore. And now here comes Dar out with a dropkick to TJP. And a handshake by Dar and Mr. Whale. And this match is going to get started.
So Whale shaking the hand of a racist.
No, wait, look. Never proven. I'd say. Public relations. Noam Dar apologised to the whole locker room. And he sent TJP into the announce table.
And forces him to fist bump.
And now, backdrop on the apron. That calls the hardest part of the ring. Dar's in. Scottish Supernova going to take out your man, TJP, in this one. The rubber match, as it was. Snapmare by Dar into onto Perkins. Onto the ropes. Just showing his aggression there. And again, another hip toss takedown. Dar this time turned him round. Very technical with Noam Dar.
Wale is a Grammy-nominated rapper.
Oh. Where's Wale? Mr. Wally. Wale on commentary. Irish whip by Dar. Perkins catches himself in the ropes on the apron, but huge drop kick by Noam Dar. Dar's got his smile on his face since we see Wale on commentary.
His song Dig Dug, Shake It, became popular in his hometown. Do you remember that?
Yeah, of course I remember. You play it all the time. Dig Dug. I tell you what, my mate, Noam Dar, the guy I've met, who's a great dude, is beating the shit out of TJP at the moment. Just brought him back in the ring. And, Perkins has to cheat there, doesn't he? Using the DDT on Dar. There ain't no way TJP's walking out here. He's just not as good as wrestler as Noam Dar, is he, Dan?
I completely disagree.
Why? Perkins is a little bit overrated. I'm a little bit bored of the character now, and I think with Noam Dar, there's a bright future ahead of him as he's getting a little work down on the leg lock. And Dar's got heart determination. That injury won't put him down. Perkins had to cheat to take control of this match.
James, it's wrestling. If the referee doesn't see it, it's legal.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
And now Perkins, come on, ref, break it. Perkins choking him in a corner, but Dar coming out now. Oh, fuck.
Oh, leg sweep from TJP. Oh, he's got him tied up. And he's just staring at Wale, saying it's for you.
Well, I would concentrate on Dar in the ring.
Oh, lifts him up by his hands and plants him to the mat. He's just making Dar look like an idiot.
How's that making him look like an idiot? There's
nothing he can do.
He had to cheat to take advantage of this one. What the fuck?
Scoop slam by TJP.
Well, look at that. Now Dar blocking TJP there. Brilliantly done. Dar back to his feet. Now he's beating Perkins to the punch. Forearm to the face. Back elbow. Nice kicks.
Gets his kick caught by TJP, who delivers a leg whip on that surgically repaired left knee.
And Dar now having to use the ropes at the moment. Try and get up. But he won't give up.
I'll try sending TJP to the way for Finn Mats. TJP lands on his feet, but Noam Dar sweeps him out from underneath him just after he lands.
Exactly. Perkins hits his head off the hardest part of the ring. The crowd are going absolutely crazy for this one as Dar is trying to get into it.
Dar with a throat strike, palm strike to the chest, and then an uppercut.
This is brilliant by Dar. He comes rolling into the corner. Bang! Hits him with a back elbow, picks him up. Northern Lights throw. Goes for the cover.
1, 2. Oh, what a kick out by Perkins.
Dar just checking with the referee, making sure. And now Dar looking to put Perkins away. Oh.
Gets caught. Oh, TJP looking for the detonation kick. An arm drag takedown. Roll up from Perkins. 2. Oh, but Dar just managing to kick out. But Perkins playing possum, takes the leg of Dar. Gets that TJP knee bar locked in.
Hello, possums. Come on now, Dar. Get to the bottom rope, darling.
He's going to make him tap.
Well, right on that bad leg, but Dar is a fighter.
Tap for Haggis.
Come on. There we go. The Scottish Silver bottom rope, showing his brave heart there. And Perkins now thinking, what's it going to take to beat him? I can't beat Noam Dar. That's what your man's thinking right now. I'm not as good as Noam Dar. What am I going to do? There is nothing that can be done. And now Perkins cheating and using the referee. Sort it out. Oh, there we go. Dar's caught his arms and now kicking away at TJP's face. That's it, son. Do the rumba. Yeah.
That's cheating.
That is brilliant by Noam Dar.
It's cheating.
Well, if referee don't see it.
Exactly.
Here comes Dar getting ready. Come on, son. Boom.
A shin kick.
Yeah, takes him out. Perkins dodged it once. Nice. And now it's Pinky Power. Bang! Huge kick to the head. Dar. 1, 2, 3. Yeah!
You're saying that as if he's just won the Cruiserweight Championship. Oh, no, he never has.
No, he just won a second match, Stan. Yeah!
Yes, he's won 2 matches.
2. D is on the start of an undefeated streak now. That will, 1-0 at the moment, but Dar is going to go on. My God, how impressive was Noam Dar there? Future Cruiserweight Champion, most definitely. Those kicks catching Perkins' head was a thing of beauty, and then finishing him off. Dan, what are your thoughts?
The match wasn't terrible, you know. It's God, you get excited when a wrestler that you follow wins after being a shitty loser for ages.
I do.
No, it wasn't a terrible match. I think, it's a good bit of resurgence for Noam Dar, who admittedly has been awful for a while. TJP, I think he's been a bit up and down. It is a bit... He still hasn't managed to find his feet, I don't think, Perkins.
Perkins, yeah, I think Perkins is struggling a little bit at the moment.
He's up and down 1 minute to the next. It is a bit... I suppose it'd be more frustrating for him, but, again, it's good to see that Noam Dar is on the up and up.
Yeah, I mean, it's good, but the problem is there's a lot of talented guys in the cruiserweight division, and this is the problem, trying to fit them all in. But it's good that Dar's getting a victory with Perkins. Yeah, I would be a little bit worried because has he done everything he can in 205 Live, or is there more, Wale leaves as we get a recap of Alexander vs. Gulak from Sunday. Drew's promo from earlier is showing calling for a rematch.
Braxton interviews the general manager about Gulak's request, and Maverick denies Drew's request/demand. You have to earn title shots on this show, and Gulak needs to get in line behind others who have been working towards it.
Well, Kira Tozawa versus Colin Delaney never starts when Gulak, Jack Gallagher and Lee Brian Kendrick crash and take out both men.
Drew calls for a mic and says business will not return to normal until he gets his rematch. He knows Cedric lets Big Daddy Drake make his decisions, but he wants him out here now to answer his challenge.
Well, the champ is here. He'll gladly get in the ring with Drew if he gets rid of Thing 1 and Thing 2. He marches to the ring, but DM the GM runs in to stop him, and a bunch of refs follows. Gulak recites some more Dr. Zeus and mocks the Age of Alexander. He's here for a better 205 Live, and he thinks the Age of Alexander sucks. Drew wonders if Cedric is scared Maverick will put him in timeout. He starts to say something else when Alexander evades the officials and gets in the ring. Drew slides out and Drake tells him to get out of there. He heads out through the crowd with Kendrick and Gallagher as Ced screams at him from the ring.
Well, up next is Lucha House Party, and it's Gran Metalik and
Lince Dorado
versus Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese in a tornado tag match.
So here we go, and two guys again. We've seen Noam Dar tonight, but Buddy Murphy, Tony Nese, another two of my guys.
Hence why we're watching this match.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. And here we go. Should be a great match, though. Dorado and Metalik start off with Murphy and Nese. I know it's I'm trying to explain. They're starting off to get with each other as couples. Kalisto's there. They've had problems with, the Lucha House Party have with Nese and Murphy. Here comes Dorado, diving cross body off the top. And now Metalik and Dorado gets reversed by Murphy and Nese.
Oh, and they get a couple of kicks to the chins for their troubles. Oh. Lovely assisted drop kick there.
Well, Metalik taking out Murphy and Nese. And he comes running back on the apron. Oh!
Jules step up Insiguris. And now LHP are going to go fly. So they get their legs dragged out from underneath them by Nese and Murphy.
Well, that was Nese there to stop the attack. And now they're going either side of the ring now. Nese getting chopped by Metalik. Oh, and Dorado gets sent off into the announce table. Nese throws him on Metalik there as well.
Dorado and Metalik slide back into the ring, get deposited on the other side, land on the apron.
Double shoulders.
Like a stereo fucking match or something.
It is. Both men, Nese and Murphy, get suplexed over the top. Double kick to the face.
Springboard moonsaults off the top rope. And Dorado and Metalik are on top of this match as Kalisto plays cheerleader.
Who do you think's better, Metalik or Dorado? Oh my God, Dorado off the apron. Hurricane rolling Buddy Murphy down. Off the barricade, sorry. Nese there, back elbow. Slides out to forearm Dorado. Oh!
He gets slammed back first into that metal ramp.
Oh, now Murphy and Nese. They're a proper tag team, so you could have got the same colour trunks. And you got to appreciate that. They've taken Dorado down, now they're going to focus on Metalik.
And they're both what an imbecile would class as absolute.
I'm not allowed to use that, they both are.
Yeah, that's why I said an imbecile with class.
Well, yeah, no, but his word is barred from
your mouth.
I'm not allowed to say that, but they are. Metalik goes diving over, but gets caught by Nisa Murphy.
Oh.
Double powerbomb into barricade. Showing their aggressive side here. They've already taken out Lucha House Party. All we have to do is flatten Kalisto. There you go, job done. Well, he hyperextended his thumb, and that was the injury that Dorado had. And Nisa Murphy now just concentrating on it. And they are going to end up breaking the hand.
Dorado's fighting out, though.
Yeah, come on, son. Oh! You ain't getting out of that. Big knee to the face. And the cast coming off. Metallic back on the apron.
Catches Nice in the midsection. Throws Murphy to the outside. Eliminates him from the Rumble.
Nice reverses Metallic.
Oh, handspring backflip there. Ducks and dodges from Tony Nese. Gets a hip toss. Bounces off the ropes and takes down Nese. As he walks the ropes. Missile dropkick taking down the Tony Nese, the Premier Athlete.
Well, he looks like a heavyweight fighter, like a cruiserweight, and now Buddy Murphy. The Aussie assassin in. He's getting caught by Metallic, though. Hurricane on attempt, but look at the power of Murphy. Oh!
Blocked into a sit-out powerbomb, goes for the cover. Kick out.
It was the best-kept secret at 205 Live. It's no secret anymore how good Buddy Murphy can and is at this moment in time. There's more people at the moment at 205 than there is in NXT, and that is saying something if you look about what we've done in the past couple of years. And he's now with a forearm shot to Metallic's head. They've turned in a handicap match.
The Juggernaut and the Premier Athlete. You got Nice holding Metallic.
Yep.
Holding Metallic's arms behind his back while Murphy punches away. But Metallic fighting out, kicking Murphy, elbowing Nice, and a punch to Murphy, knocking him away.
Nice trying to get under Metallic, and he does. Got him up with a pump handle. Oh, that was alright. Double team move. Not a lot of impact.
Broken up there.
Dorado
saving the match. I don't see what Murphy's input into that move was.
No, it wasn't that great. I thought he was going to come down with him and it would look more impressive. But they're working together, you know. I mean, with Murphy, it would be like, don't keep me teaming up here. You know what I mean? I was already in a tag team at the moment with Blake. Here comes Dorado.
Oh, seated dropkick off the top, taking out both men. Running around delivering rights to both of them as well.
Oh my God, harsh chops to the chest. Beautiful dropkick by Dorado there with Murphy right on the button.
I think Lucha House Party has fallen flat on its arse. I think they're trying to derive the 205 Live's version of New Day. But just didn't happen.
No, but Dorado gets sent into Nice with Bronco Buster. Murphy picks up Dorado.
Oh, but that gets turned into a Bulldog. Pop-up Hurricane Rana.
And
Murphy just managing to kick out.
But it is impressive what these guys can do. They just need a little bit more pacing sometimes as well. Do you know what I mean? You talked about Murphy selling in the past. I know with the Mae Young Classic that we watched yesterday as well, there's a couple of times in that. People were just getting up a bit too quickly, but if you haven't got the time to, you know, they're being told you've got these X amount of minutes, they want to try and put all the big moves in. This is what sometimes can hamper a match. I think there's not a problem at the moment because with the main events, they get given more time, so there should be no excuse for that, if you know what I mean. They've been get given 20 minutes now. As Nisa Murphy double teaming Dorado.
Oh, but Dorado catches them both. They're all crumpled down into a weird mess, which I think was a bit of a cock-up.
Yep.
Goes for a cover on Murphy, who kicks out after one.
Oh. Well, they'll be frustrated, you know, look at the botches that has happened, and this is why, you know, it's 205 Live. Murphy now picking up Dorado.
Backslide pushes him into Nice, who puts on the brakes. Oh, and a tornado DDT planting Murphy. Just managing to kick out.
I don't know how Murphy's still in this match. Well, the hand might be bothering Dorado, but not too much at this moment. A little bit of trouble there between Nice and Murphy.
Well, potential trouble, but the brakes was put on by Murphy to stop him colliding with his partner.
Now Murphy put in position by Dorado.
Kalisto signal him to go flying. But Nice is up, gets kicked off the apron. That gives Murphy enough time to get up and crutch him on top. The Golden Links.
Oh, Nice and Murphy looking to go up now. And Kalisto just doesn't even want to watch. His little mate Dorado's in serious trouble. Oh, but Metalik comes in and saves the day. Takes Nice off.
Oh, but he gets a combination from Murphy.
Oh. Trying to go to the tornado DDT, but Murphy catches him.
Plants him face.
Oh.
Nice with like a lion salt. Gets caught with a moonsault. Or shooting star press, shall I say. But Murphy just powers him up.
Oh, my.
Drops him face first onto the mat. But a kick out.
Oh. Well, that was impressive then, I think, by Murphy.
That was a nice little exchange from all four men, to be honest.
I think that all at work then.
Can't just single out one wrestler.
No, but I'm saying with Murphy managing to keep.
I know you're Murphy, but all four men was a part of that then, and it wasn't just the fucking power game from Murphy picking him up and slamming him down. Oh, that made that move there. That did. Come on, stop being biased.
I think Kalisto at ringside had something to bring to the match as well. Do you want to get the crowd into it?
All down to the referee, Dick.
Well, he is calling the action, but all four men are down at the moment. I think the Juggernaut is freshest though. And now Murphy's on the apron with Dorado. And he's going to try and suplex him in the apron, but Dorado fighting it.
Kicks him into the ring post. Oh, but gets sent to the other side of the post by Murphy.
Both men in a very precarious position now. Dorado fiddling about with his mask, trying to keep it on. And that gives Murphy a second to recover and punch Dorado. And now he's on top, but so is Dorado. Oh.
And Nice up there for the save for his partner.
And now Tony Nice is up.
We've got three men up in that corner now.
Oh no. Nice drops down and a trio woe. And Dorado's got Murphy suplex. No. Oh.
German suplex just folds him up. But Metalik walking the ropes. Drop kick to the face of Nice.
Oh, double knees by Murphy, though. What a fantastic sequence there by Buddy Murphy.
Oh, fuck off.
All four men are down.
Well, that was very impressive the way he dropped his knees off. Fuck all about walking the top rope half the way across and delivering a lovely drop kick.
Or the trio way into the German suplex.
Oh no, it was all about the fucking knees off the top rope. Tit.
And the fans are getting into it. Lucha chance. And we see the replay of this.
Just rolls him up.
Ooh.
Oh. That was very impressive walking the ropes.
Wasn't it? Look at this. Bang! Best move ever. Well, Dorado and Metalik using each other to help the other one up.
And now Murphy and Nice are doing the same.
Oh my god, now all four men just exchanging.
Slaps, elbows, punches.
Although Dorado...
Step up in Seguri. Oh, beautiful. Step up in Seguri, caught, ducked by Murphy, hit Nice, who then sends Murphy's foot into Nice, knocking him down.
Oh, Nice rolls into it, picks up Dorado, but Metalik with a drop kick.
And then the icing on the cake was a dual super kick that Dorado and Metalik delivered to Murphy.
Oh my god.
The bottom rope springboard moonsault catches. Second rope springboard moonsault catches. Third time moonsault. Both men on top.
1, 2.
Oh, but Murphy just in to break it up.
Well done, Buddy Murphy. That would have been it then. Kalisto sent it. God, that weren't free.
So Kalisto, if he was a heel, he could have grabbed hold of Murphy's leg, stopped him getting in.
But they want to do things the right way.
But then it's sometimes the wrong way.
Well, as I say, we saw Alexander at SummerSlam. Did he use that way just so he knew he'd retain? Especially with these men looking for a Cruiserweight title opportunity down the line. Kalisto, former Cruiserweight champion, of course. If he closed on the top of Metalik, Nice with a roll-up. Oh.
He definitely had a handful of tights there.
But couldn't get him down. And Metalik now. Oh.
Back first into the corner.
Are we going to see the running knees? Here he comes. Oh, no.
Oh, he's up to a vertical base, kick to the jaw. Nice rolling in with an elbow.
That was nice. But Dorado up low. He's got Tony Nice.
Touches up.
And Murphy pulls Dorado down. But only a drop kick. He's on the apron.
Oh!
We went for it all and missed! Oh!
Hurricane Rana, Nice into Murphy. Fucking hell.
Fucking hell, Metallic there.
Holy shit moment on 205 Live.
Told you this was a good match. Unbelievable stuff.
And the way that Murphy took that move, I mean, fucking hell. It was just perfect.
Right, you go. Dorado went for it all. Missed with a
Splat.
splash. And then Metallic up on that top. Oh, my God.
Did his mask nearly come off then? I think his mask come off.
Well, that's how much...
His mask did come off.
See, that's how hard he hit Tony Nese. The mask actually came off. Metallic throws Murphy back in. Here comes Metallic with a springboard.
Murphy ducks, delivers a running knee, sends him outside.
Well, he might be knocked out now. And Kalisto trying to call him up, but Murphy now... Well, he's looking at Kalisto as he grabs Metallic.
Giving him enough time to recover, though.
Don't call me Shirley. Oh, no, Murphy just ripping a T-shirt at Kalisto, pushed him into the announce table. I don't know, that's a great idea, Murphy.
Oh, Kalisto should have pushed him back, but it would have been a disqualification. 2. Oh, roll up by Metallic.
Oh, only getting a 2,
yes,
though.
Kalisto.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Well, cheating there by Kalisto. Here comes Metallic.
Slams him round.
2, 3.
Oh, yes, Metallic. Lovely pinata. Goes with Kalisto, but...
No, come on now. Kalisto cheated in this match.
I didn't see it, James.
Oh, fuck. He cost
I
Buddy
honestly
Murphy.
didn't see it.
He cost Buddy...
All I saw is Buddy Murphy getting in the face of Kalisto for checking that his friend's all right after being delivered a kick to the jaw. And he just rips his shirt off for no apparent reason and shoves him into the announce table. That's all I saw from that.
How can you say that I'm biased when you... It's clear as New Day. You can see that happening there.
Look, rip his shirt off and shoves him into that. He was just standing there checking on his mate. Uncalled for.
That is disgusting. I hope Kalisto gets in trouble with Drake Maverick.
What's that over there? What's that on the curtain?
What?
Oh, no. See, look, nothing happened.
No,
he just turns round and then he gets caught with a lovely move. Sunset flip. 1, 2, 3.
I hope
victory.
Kalisto gets punished for his actions here tonight. Ruin was a fantastic match with all 4 men. Dan, what are your thoughts on it?
For Buddy Murphy, no. Yeah, all 4 men performed out. You know, they recovered from their little fumbles well. And it was a great team effort from all 5 guys.
Yeah, it really was. You know, all the little spots worked together well. It was really, really enjoyable as we move on to our next episode of 205 Live. So we move on to our next episode of 205 Live, which is episode 92, August 28th.
Drake Maverick welcomes us to the show, breaking down the history between the men in the 2 matches he announced earlier today.
Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness and Percy Jackson/Watson make the picks for the main event, Murphy Kalisto, and kick it to the opener, which starts with Kendrick and Gentleman Jack Haha running down Toronto. But that isn't what's bothering the Brian. It's people who don't know their place, like Palsy Wolsey, Akira Tozawa.
Well, Akira Tozawa defeated the Brian Kendrick via pinfall following the top rope senton.
Well, Tozawa's fired up, hitting both the heels quickly after the bell. Kendrick gets the advantage before too long and almost secures the submission with a captain's hook, but Akira makes it to the bottom rope to break the hold.
After Kendrick rolls away from the top rope senton, Tozawa flies and takes him out with a tope suicida. Gallagher tries to stop him. Gallagher tries to stop another senton attempt, but Tozawa's onto him, flattening him with a kick before punishing Kendrick's leg into the ring post. He continues to target the leg with moves like the Dragon Whip leg screw before ending it.
Well, after a recap of the issues with Lucha House Party, Caleb Braxton catches up with Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese. The Aussie basically says he's done playing around with luchadors, and Nese closes the scene by saying the Juggernaut is back. Before his match, Hideo Itami selfie promo is shown where he says he's sorry he hurt Mustafa Ali. Sorry he didn't hurt him worse. Ooh. Well, Hideo Itami versus Michael Blase ends in a no contest, I guess.
Completely one-sided, with Itami hitting his finisher multiple times but not Completely one-sided, with Itami hitting his finisher multiple times before pulling Blase up at 2.
2.
To continue laying in punishment. That eventually brings a return of Mustafa Ali.
Well, he charges to the ring in street clothes and Hideo Itami tails it. Ali yells that he's a coward as he smirks.
He wasn't smoking, James. He just had a smile on his face.
And slips off through the crowd.
A recap of last week's run-in between the champ and Drew Gulak is shown. Cedric Alexander gets a promo from the European tour saying Gulak's actions since SummerSlam have proved him to be a spineless hypocrite. He'll give Drew one chance to redeem himself next week. Alexander's heading to the ring and calling him out.
Oh. But up next is our main event, and the man who cheated last week and cost Buddy Murphy the victory on 205 Live, Kalisto, is going to get his comeuppance here as he goes against Buddy Murphy. And the thing I like about Buddy Murphy and Tony is even though they're in a handicapped situation, they don't back down from it. You know, they're going to face it head on. You know, I don't think we've mentioned that you know, the heels are at a disadvantage, but Murphy doesn't look like he's going to play around.
Well, I didn't see this alleged trip
Oh, fucking
that
hell.
you're alluding to. I must have blinked and missed it, but I don't know what Murphy's vendetta is setting upon the Lucha House Party.
Oh,
I think he's just picking on guys that are smaller than him because he knows he can't step up to the plate when it comes to the likes of Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali.
We want Alexander to limit more than Buddy Murphy has. Buddy Murphy deserves another opportunity at the Cruiserweight Championship. And come on now, Lucha House Party have been attacking Murphy and Nice from behind. They've been interfering in their matches. It's disgusting. I'm not happy about Lucha House Party. Look at them wearing their masks and waving their, I won't say maracas, but that would be incredibly racist. They're, I don't even know what they are. Fan rattles or whatever it is. What are they, you know? And then Murphy just so much more impressive.
Do you know what I have to say to that, James?
What?
Lucha, Lucha, Lucha.
You've got to say Murphy is a better in-ring competitor than Kalisto.
Oh, yeah, you know, he's definitely won the US Championship. Oh, no, he hasn't, has he?
Well, just because he won the US title for
he's a former Cruiserweight champion. No, he's not got that either.
Yeah,
he's come short, hasn't he?
Murphy is former NXT tag team champion.
So's Kalisto.
Oh, you fuck off.
So's the Ascension.
Well, I don't care. Murphy at the moment showing his power. Oh, trying to get up to the ropes. There we go. Gets it to the second rope now.
Oh, lovely Hez's takedown there from Kalisto to Murphy, sending him scampering away like a dog.
Oh, come on now. Murphy's just being intelligent on the outside. Look at this.
Oh, tries being intelligent and rushing the ring, but gets caught with a step-up enseguri.
Well, I don't think Kalisto's finished just yet.
Lucha, Lucha, Lucha.
Here he comes. No,
Oh,
see?
suicide dive. Tony Nese was stood in the way, blocking him like that gutless heel that he is.
Oh, come on.
As Kalisto hops over the referee and takes out both Nese and...
A referee there, you know, he didn't want Kalisto to dive over, and that's why he got involved.
Lucha.
An attack on the helpless Nice, just helping his partner, Buddy Murphy, make sure he's alright.
Oh, what, just like Kalisto was helping his partner.
Oh, come on, Nice. Well, Nice and Murphy now.
He's got back up. See, look, your balls ain't so big when the tides have turned, has it?
3 against 2!
It was 2 against 1 for a minute when they was giving it all Billy Big Balls, but the tide has changed.
No, look, come on now. There we go,
Kalisto
Murphy.
says, look, you know, I don't need you guys. When his back was turned, Murphy struck like
Murphy,
the villainous heel that he is.
I didn't see it. I mean, if he did do it, then it must have been using his intelligence there. Murphy now in control of this match. And what it would mean when Murphy defeats former Cruiserweight champion, former United States champion like that. Murphy surely...
Don't call me Shirley.
...must be next in line for the Cruiserweight Championship after the winner of Gulak and Alexander has been decided hopefully next week. Kalisto trying to hurricane run on there, but Murphy showing his power and keeping hold of him.
Oh, but gets taken out of the ring. Eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
And now Kalisto near his mates so they can use the handicap advantage against him.
Oh, running kick to the beak. He didn't need his mates in his handicap advantage.
Well, Murphy...
Nese sneaking up behind. Like the repo man.
Nice is just checking on Kalisto. Kalisto comes off the apron, but gets caught by Murphy. Impressive show of power there by the Juggernaut, holding Kalisto up, slamming him down on those mats. And how thin are those mats?
They're wafer thin.
Exactly. And Kalisto's body just banged right on it. Dorado Metallic can't help him now. Come on, referee, stop this match. Yeah.
Right. What's the need in that?
Why is Dorado shoving Murphy for? He's not involved in this match.
What's Murphy shoving Dorado for? He's not involved in this match.
Well, Murphy's involved in this match, but Dorado shouldn't be over Kalisto. Come on, referee, make the right call. Yes! Yes, he says Lucha House Party. You're out. Fantastic decision. Shouldn't have put his hands on Buddy Murphy. There you go. That's what happens, Grand Metallic Dorado. You try and get involved in your mate, yeah, take your pinata with you.
He caught it as well.
Go on. Get out of here. Well, I hate when,
I suppose Murphy's going to give it the Billy Big Balls now he's got the number advantage.
I hate it when people have to interfere behind the referee's back to take advantage. Now that Lucha House Party are gone, so we can finally get some impartial competition here. Because we know Nice, the guy outside, he's going to leave it one-on-one. Murphy knows.
Of course he is. Yeah.
He is. Murphy knows he can beat Kalisto. Yeah.
One-on-one.
No, he does. Nice will not do anything now. I know. He'll just stand
do you want a better bonus point on it?
I don't want a better bonus point.
Oh, what, you're not that confident that your men aren't going to stick to the rules of the match, and you don't want to put a bonus point on the fact that Nice will get involved at match.
I'm not.
So you're saying you're not sure if he will then? Are you backtracking?
No, I'm only saying if Kalisto decides to interact with Nice, that's when it will come and cost him. Nice won't strike first. You mark my words about that. They're two upstanding gentlemen, they are, in Buddy Murphy and Tony
Right,
Nice.
okay then. A bonus point. If Kalisto strikes Nice first...
I'm not putting any bonus points on that.
Well, yeah, because you're not that confident. And the cocky Murphys try to kick Kalisto in the back, but Kalisto moved out of the way.
And Kalisto now struggling to even get into this match because Murphy's been so dominant.
Oh, and he's got the sleeper locked in. Make him go to sleep, Kalisto.
Nah, Murphy's too big. Backs him up in the corner.
Oh, Tornado DDT back onto the sleeper, though.
And this is the only way he's going to try and get victory. Send him to sleep. Murphy's too tough to tap.
Well, you could always send Kalisto to sleep with one of your tall stories about how great Murphy is.
You really are an arsehole sometimes, you know that. Murphy powering Kalisto down.
Only sometimes.
Murphy travelled from down under to get here. It's a long journey that Murphy had to put in. People said he wasn't good enough. He's come up to 205 Live and he's proven he can hang.
Because that's where all the greats go, isn't it?
The very best in the world. Murphy will be in the main roster. Honestly, he's got the talent. We've seen it. Murphy always delivers. The juggernaut of 205 Live. And he's in complete control over Kalisto. Yeah, you run away like the bitch that you are. Blowing his nose because he's crying about Kalisto getting beaten up. Murphy on the outside. Murphy.
Referee!
What?
Send him out of here.
What
He's
happened?
tripped Kalisto and distracted him.
I didn't see it.
I saw it.
No, I did not see that.
I did.
No.
I saw that.
No, I no idea.
You.
No, referee.
Yeah,
no.
send him, ref. Send him out, ref.
He didn't do anything, ref.
Ref. You.
No,
Go on.
no.
Out of here!
Oh, come on, ref. He wasn't involved at all. Kalisto ran into his arm.
What was his arm doing on the ring apron?
I didn't see it, but that's what I assume happened. I know Nice
Well, if
would
you
do
assume you make an ass out of you and me, Salida Del Sol, finish this match, Kalisto.
Referee. Come on now, ref.
Lucha. Look, slow action replay. Bang, swept his leg.
He didn't touch him.
Referee
Didn't
saw
touch him.
it. Ref caught him.
Ref, this is heinous. This is bad officiating in WWE's part. Now Murphy, Nice going low. It's just a shame he won't be there to cheer him on when he wins because obviously he's going to get the job done.
Oh, a second step up in Seguri. Knocks Murphy banned as he springboards his way in. Seated senton. He's running now. Boom! A corkscrew tornado back elbow. Springboard.
Now look at the power of Murphy. Just throwing Kalisto away, saying, yeah.
Yeah, and Kalisto rolls him up. Kick to the head.
No, he doesn't, because
It's a leg
Murphy
caught.
catches it. Now he's got hits him with a move that doesn't work in real life. Slingshot.
Oh, but Kalisto lands on the second rope. Kick to the jaw.
Oh,
looking for a blockbuster but getting caught.
Look at that
Backslide
Murphy.
from Kalisto.
Power of Murphy compels leaf. Hell.
Reverse.
Reverse Hurricane Runner. That broke his neck backwards, and then the short runner broke his neck forwards.
Oh, Murphy just managing to kick out.
An incredible show of the heart and determination by Buddy Murphy there, getting the shoulder up after those two. I will admit there were wicked moves, but Murphy still got the fight. Come on, son. Oh.
Slew. Cha.
No.
Lou. Cha. Lou. Cha. Lou. Cha. Lou. Cha. Lou. Cha. Oh, Murphy catches him on his shoulders. He's going for the Sleater del Sol. Plants him face first into the second turnbuckle. Runs into a super kick. Saw a tooth go flying there. 1, 2. Oh!
My man Buddy Murphy still in this. The tooth landed at ringside.
It landed in the 5th row, James.
And Kalisto, very impressive there, but Murphy still hanging in there. Well, the fans definitely get behind Kalisto. Murphy maybe using a bit of experience going to the apron. Can't get pinned there. Now both men staring at each other as both on the apron. Murphy pushes Kalisto away.
Throws him throat first over the announce table from the ring apron.
And that is the power of Murphy.
Compels you.
It compelled Kalisto onto the announce
It
table.
impaled him on the announce table. And if Murphy can get Kalisto back in the ring, he's going to get hit with a Sleater del Sol and put out of his misery. Thank you, Nigel McGuinness. That's very wise words from you. You commentating legend, you.
Well, Kalisto at the moment is not hitting the Sleater del Sol because he's getting hit by the barricade after Murphy just thrown him. Oh, referee's counting now. Come on, don't let it be a count out. Oh, Murphy, though, clever. Clever's going to get a count. No, he's going to stop the count.
Break the count.
He wants to hurt Kalisto. Well done, Murphy.
Oh, well, his cocky attitude's come back to haunt him now. He gets hit with a big forearm. Bounces off barricade, but into a knee from Murphy.
Well, those knees by Murphy are on point. Kalisto's down at the moment.
Those knees.
I wonder who taught Buddy Murphy to hit the knees so well. Maybe his friend.
Probably Blake.
Maybe his friend. Yeah, yeah, it was Blake. Yeah, but
Or his very good friend Enzo Amore.
Murphy was never good friends with him. He gets in the ring.
Kalisto's calling him out though, saying, "Come on, just bring it."
Well, more guts than brains has Kalisto.
Oh! As he gets monkey flipped over into the announcer's area, straight over barricade.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that before. He went flying off our screens. And now Kalisto's going to get the cheap count-out victory. That is disgraceful. You know, this is meant to be a proper competition. And he's happy to get a count-out rather than pinning the man. Come on, Murphy. Break it down. There we go. Count of 9. He's in.
Bang! Oh. He gets Hurricane Rana through the second rope.
He's dead. 1, 2.
Oh.
Well done, Murphy. You get folded. I like the way he folds himself up. Fans appreciating it. It's good to see.
Booker T!
I'm coming for you, Murphy. This is awesome chance again as Kalisto is up in the apron.
This indeed is awesome.
Here comes Kalisto. Hurricane Rana gets caught in a powerbomb. Goes for the count, but Murphy powers him up again. Bang!
Twisting set out powerbomb. 1. Kick out.
How did Kalisto get the shoulder up there? Murphy saying, referee, are you sure about that?
The referee's like, don't call me Shirley.
Referee checking on both men. 205 chance. We don't really hear that often.
No. The fans aren't normally into 205 live.
No. And now Murphy might be looking for Murphy's Law. Put Kalisto away. Oh, no.
Kalisto rolls him up. 1, 2. Oh.
Finally gets out of it, but Kalisto again rolls him through.
Oh, and follows up with a kick to the beak.
Murphy will not get hit with another short roller. He made sure of that. Tony hits the knee. Murphy's Law hits it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Buddy Murphy wins! 1-on-1. He beat Kalisto.
Well, you're celebrating as if he won the Cruiserweight Championship.
That, but no,
he hasn't. Oh, you're celebrating as if he's won the US Championship. Oh, no, he hasn't.
Look, Buddy Murphy has beat Kalisto here in a great matchup, and he proved he could beat him 1-on-1. No shenanigans in the end. Needs that to celebrate. Dan, what are your thoughts on that match?
I thought it was a bloody good match between the two guys, yeah. Neither of them put a foot wrong. I think, I like the little shenanigans that went on outside the ring as well. I think they played into it perfectly. And, I've looked forward to a few more matches between these factions to come, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Lucha Hound to their next feud, and, it's interesting to see what happens with Nice and Murphy.
Yeah. No, I really like Nice and Murphy, but I think Murphy is the potential to be more of a star here. Murphy is improving week in, week out as well. And some of the moves in this match, some of the moves last week, like you said, between all 4 or 5 guys, let's give them all credit, were some amazing stuff. And you don't start chanting 205 if it's not good, and they're getting it right at the moment.
Yeah, credit where it's due. Again, for the second week in a row, Murphy's main event in 205 Live.
So I'm laughing about the fact he got monkey flipped over the top of the replay. Yeah, exactly. Main event's the second 205 Live, doesn't he? Yeah. I got to be happy about that, It's nice to see, it's good to see great matches. But tonight it was Murphy's Law here on 205 Live.
And last week it was Coleslaw.
Well, up next it's episode 93, September 4th.
Well, Drake Maverick says tonight's show will have ramifications for the Cruiserweight division going forward. Buddy Murphy has a title match in Melbourne, but tonight Tony Nese will face Grand Metalik. Cedric Alexander will call out Drew Gulak tonight. What will happen tonight? Will Cedric turn the tables on Gulak, or is Cedric walking into a trap?
Well, we're in Detroit, Michigan, and your announcers are Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and Percy Jackson /Watson.
Tony Nese is asked about his match against Grand Metalik. Tony yells at Kayla about interviewing him before his match. She asks Buddy about getting a title match in Australia. Buddy says to be chosen for Super Showdown was an easy choice for Drake. He is Melbourne's biggest star. Buddy says he came close to beating Cedric in his hometown. Now Cedric is coming. Buddy says he will be one to have thousands of people cheer for him as he becomes the next Cruiserweight champion. Tonight, Tony Nese does what he does best, take care of business.
Well, match number 1 is Grand Metalik versus Tony Nese.
They lock up and Metalik with a waist lock. Nese with a standing switch into a side headlock. Nese with a shoulder tackle. Metalik with an arm drag followed by one from Nese, and then both men go for a drop kick at the same time. Nese with a back elbow, but Metalik with a chop. Nese with an Irish whip, and Metalik floats over. Nese flips out of a corner and connects with a series of kicks.
Well, Nese goes for a quebrada, but Metalik moves and Nese lands on his feet. Metalik with a slingshot arm drag, Metalik with a springboard arm drag, and Nese goes to the floor. Metalik drop kicks Nese off the apron where he goes for a baseball slide, but Nese ducks and then he takes Metalik down with a leg sweep on the apron. Nese goes for a powerbomb on the apron, but Metalik grabs the ropes and is able to escape. Metalik with a super kick that knocks Nese off the apron. Nese catches Metalik off the apron and swings Metalik into the ringside barricade.
Nese sends Metalik into the ring and Nese gets a near fall. Metalik with a kick and he goes to the turnbuckles for a tornado DDT, but Nese counters into a Northern Light suplex for a near fall. Nese with kicks, Metalik with forearms, but Nese with a chop. Nese with an Irish whip, but Metalik with a back elbow and a moonsault, but Nese catches Metalik. Metalik counters into a DDT and Nese is down.
Well, Metalik with a sling blade bulldog, and then he hits a springboard dropkick for a near fall. Metalik with a roll up for a near fall. Metalik with a chop, and then he goes for a handspring move, but Nese with a spinning heel kick, and both men are down. Nice goes for a super, Metallic lands on his feet. Nice goes to the turnbuckle, Metallic with an insecurity. Metallic with a run over the top rope to the floor. Metallic with a kick, and he goes up top and goes for a moonsault to the floor, but Nice gets to his feet. Gets his feet up.
Metallic with a forearm, but Nice clips Metallic and hits a Fosbury flop. Nice goes up top and hits a 450 splash for a near fall. Nice sends Metallic shoulder first into the ring post. Metallic with a super kick and a Metallic driver for a near fall. Nice with an uppercut to stop Metallic on the turnbuckles. Nice with a chop, and then he sets for a superplex, but Metallic crotches Nice. Metallic with a Rana to Nice, and then he goes up top for a springboard elbow drop for the freak. Winner, Grand Metallic.
After the match, Kalisto and Lince Dorado celebrate in the ring with Metallic.
We take a look back at what happened with Hideo Itami last week and the return of Mustafa Ali.
Drake Maverick tells referee that he will take care of things if they get out of control.
What, by bringing down the authors of pain?
Yeah, exactly. You can do that.
Mustafa Ali shows up and he mentions that he was hoping Drake was in his authors of pain gear.
Well, Drake says he's concerned about Ali going into the ring before he's cleared. Ali says he's fine and he doesn't want to see someone get taken advantage. Drake tells Ali he cannot enter a 205 live ring until he says so.
Well, it's Noam Dar versus Brian Kelly.
Before the match starts, Leo Rush, Dan's favourite, makes his way to the ring.
What a twat he is. They lock up and Dar works on the arm and applies a side headlock. Dar with a shoulder tackle and he trips Kelly. Kelly misses a crossbody while Dar ducks. Dar with his knees and he hip tosses Kelly into the ropes. Kelly drops Dar on the top rope and Kelly punches Dar. Kelly with an arm bar. Dar runs into an uppercut, but Kelly misses a move off the turnbuckles. Dar with an uppercut and he hits a running back elbow and a backdrop. Dar with kicks to the knee and then Dar with a running kick for the 3 count.
Winner, Noam Dar again. He's on a roll. I know, who's Noam Dar? Well, after the match, Rush gets on the announce table and applauds Dar's performance.
Well, Dar invites Rush into the ring.
And then he walks away because he's scared of Noam Dar. So Alexander walks in the back and he is stopped by Drake Maverick.
Drake says he knows about his history with Drew, but he wants Cedric to keep this professional because he will get involved if things get out of hand. Oh, look at fucking Drake Maverick having some balls
walking
now.
Away, yeah. Well, we are back, and next week, Grand Metallic faces Buddy Murphy.
Oh, so this feud carries on.
Yeah.
Cedric Alexander makes his way to the ring and he is dressed for action.
Well, Cedric says he's a man of few words. He says,
yeah, I'm a man of few words. Is that it?
Hang on a minute. No, he says he knows why he's out here. If Drew Gulak has integrity, he will come to the ring to finish this.
One of the 3 angle eyes.
Mm-hmm. Well, instead of Drew Gulak, TJP makes his way to the stage.
TJ says he's not surprised that Gulak isn't out here because he is an opportunist. TJ says he's tired of waiting in line for an opportunity. TJ says if Cedric wants to fight, he will oblige, and then he will beat Cedric to give him a title match.
Well, Perkins makes his way to the ring, but he's interrupted by Drake Maverick.
Drake says there is only one person who makes matches on 205 Live, and it's him. This isn't normally what he does, but he is a shameless promoter, and this is a marquee matchup. Why not have this match right now?
So here we go. It's going to be Cedric Alexander versus TJP in a non-title match.
TJP with a wrist lock. TJP with a wrist lock, but Alexander with a reversal and takedown. Alexander with a side headlock and a shoulder tackle. TJP with a nip up. Alexander with a leg trip. TJP with a waist lock and Cedric Alexander with an elbow. Alexander with a neutralizer, but TJP rolls to the floor. Alexander sets for a suicide dive and he hits it. Alexander chops TJP and sends him into the apron. TJP with a shoulder and a DDT onto the apron.
Perkins with a slingshot into an octopounder with a stretch muffler, but TJP will roll up for a near fall. Cedric with a handstand, head scissors and a drop kick that sends Perkins to the floor. He then sends him back into the ring, but TJP rolls to the far apron. Alexander with a kick when he avoids a shoulder from Perkins, and then TJP with an octopus in the ropes. He then kicks and he sends Cedric shoulder first into the turnbuckles, and then he works on his shoulder in the corner. Then hits a European uppercut, but Alexander with a forearm and chops. Perkins come back with a kick to the head, but Cedric with a drop kick to the knee that sends Perkins into the turnbuckles. Now Cedric going out to the apron. Oh, fuck off, I did you! You piece of shit! And Alexander to come back in, flies in off that bottom rope.
Face first, plants Perkins into the mat. Goes for a cover, but Oh, Perkins managing to kick out.
Well, that was close there. But if Perkins does get a victory, we asked what was next for him. If he could beat the Cruiserweight champion, he might be next in line. I tell you what, look how many fucking empty seats there are. Oh, my God. They're not going to try not to show a wide shot in a minute. Alexander backs Perkins up in the corner.
But Perkins picking the leg, going for a roll-up.
Look at that.
Fucking hell.
Whoa. They did not stay here tonight.
And just wrenching Alexander's arm back.
Well, Cedric in a lot of trouble. When we know how good Perkins is, works the arm, works the leg. TJP, though, able to suplex Alexander. Here's a hat trick, 11 goes to the cover, but Cedric managing to kick out. Well, Cedric, with all the empty seats around, must be used to it because, hey, they're on SummerSlam kickoffs and stuff like that as well, where people are just coming in. So, I don't know why 205 Live is not before SmackDown. I know it's meant to be live, but if it was 205, I think that would be fine if the crowd was still into it. And it does damage your product sometimes. It's been a bit different the past couple of weeks, hasn't it? Because they've been so into the matches.
Yeah.
We've kind of been surprised at what it should be like.
Do you not think it should slingshot off into its own thing, like basically NXT is getting its own hour shows? You know, just doing it like that, you know, in their smaller home sale arenas.
Would you be happy with them in arenas like that?
I'd be happy with smaller arenas if they're getting the recognition they deserve.
Yeah,
but, you know, it's when you go to this, how many 205 Live shirts are outside on the SmackDown banners, on the SmackDown boards? There's not, is there?
No, there's none. You're right, yeah.
You know, but when we went to NXT, there was all NXT shirts. And I think it would work better like that.
Yeah, I think the Cruiserweight division in itself could go to NXT and be involved in that way as well to have a bit more exposure. I think it makes more sense. This is really sad if you look at just the amount of empty seats in the arena. I know I'm not trying to take away from this match, but it kind of is a bit off-putting when you consider, you know, how many people are watching on the network now. Is 205 Live could be in trouble, even though he's having great matches. Is it Cedric Alexander's fault? Is it all him?
Well, you know, I'm not going to say anything, but the last 2 weeks, Murphy was in the main event, you know.
And it was
like, oh, fuck that, if we're going to have to see that fucking ginger tosser again.
Oh, come on, the Juggernaut will be facing, speaking of Buddy Murphy, he'll be facing the Cruiserweight champion Cedric Alexander at the Greatest Dome show in Australia in his hometown. Alexander nearly put Perkins away there. I think we should concentrate on this rather than a Super Showdown. Should say we'll be.
Who's the one that started fucking talking about it?
I know. I'm just correcting myself. I'm just saying that will be coming up to the WNR podcast. And of course, we'll have that on the show, and you know, let's hope Buddy Murphy can get the job done in his hometown. But there was Cedric there with the suplex right down into the backbreaker.
No, that was a gutbuster.
The lumbar check by suplex, and now he's got Perkins up trying to hit it.
Inverted lumbar check, because the lumbar.
And TJP holds on still, gets picked up, and now turns it round.
Oh, looking for a Kimura lock.
Oh, and Alexander might be in serious trouble now. Middle of the ring, can't get out of this.
TJP.
No, powers him up, slams him down, goes for the cover, but Perkins somehow managing to kick out. You can see in the eyes of Cedric Alexander, he's shocked by that. Cedric now going to try to make his way back in. Springboard time.
Gets caught by TJP though. Again going for that left shoulder of Alexander's.
Oh my God, he's got it. He's been working it all match. Cedric though managing to just roll away.
But TJP rolls into the knee bar.
And that is great work there by Perkins. Alexander, all sorts of pain.
TJP was making him worry about the shoulder, and he goes straight after the leg.
Oh, but Alexander somehow managing to get to that bottom rope.
TJP set to take out his opponent. As he just kicks him in the head, telling him to stay down.
There's all that overconfidence from Perkins, though. You know, he gets too involved in trying to hurt him rather than getting the job done. I want to see a TJP from the Cruiserweight Classic, and at the moment he's getting outgunned by Cedric Alexander.
Oh, as Alexander catches a leg, but Perkins turns it into a cross arm breaker as Alexander rolls him up looking for a near fall, but Perkins managing to kick out of two.
Oh my God. Perkins tried to go for the detonation kick. Cedric turned it into lumbar check. Gets the job done. 1, 2, 3. Job's a good one. Alexander wins. I mean, not a bad match. I think more technical than anything else at this moment in time. Still good, but what can you say about the crowd in attendance? You know, it is not a good thing.
Oh, Drew Gulak's music hits though as Alexander gets his arm raised.
Well, my God, Drake Maverick's out here, and he. Oh no! After that, it's Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak's.
Thanks for correcting me, dick.
After the match, Drew Gulak's music plays, and Drew makes his way to the ring.
He congratulates Cedric on another groundbreaking performance from the Age of Alexander. Did you say you wanted to finish things from Brooklyn? Drew says he's wearing his trunks and humble boots, so he accepts the challenge.
My God, but Jack Gallagher attacks Cedric from behind, but Cedric takes care of Jack. Gulak with a clothesline, and then he applies the Goo Lock.
Drake sends Drew and Jack to the back.
Well, he's not going to have any of it. It doesn't look like Gulak and Cedric are finished, and Cedric's got Buddy Murphy on his mind. What did you think of the match, though, Dan?
I thought it was good technical between the two guys. I think, these two guys, given enough time, they could have a great match.
Yeah, it's the next episode, 205 Live, the last one we're going to watch, and it's episode 94, September 11th.
Well, Drake Maverick says tonight is a can't-miss show. Grand Metalik will face Buddy Murphy in the opening match. Last week, Metalik beat Tony Nese, but will he be able to win 2 in a row? In the main event, Drew Jack Gallagher to face Akira Tozawa and Cedric Alexander. We're in Lafayette, Louisiana, and your announcers are Vic Joseph, Nigel McGuinness, and Percy Watson/Jackson. And our first matchup of the night is, of course, Grand Metalik versus Buddy Murphy. And, of course, we won't be watching this because we've seen so many fucking Buddy fucking Murphy fucking matches that I'm going to go crazy if I see one more. Or Murphy with a wrist lock and Metalik with a waist lock and head scissors. Murphy and Metalik with covers, they both kick out before a count can be made. Metalik with a waist lock, but Murphy with an elbow. Metalik flips out of the way and he hits a head scissors takedown followed by a drop kick. Metalik goes for a baseball slide, but Murphy moves and he chops Metalik and then sends him into the ringside barrier.
Well, Murphy sends Metalik back into the ring, but Metalik with a baseball slide and a kick from the apron. Grand Metalik goes up on top and hits a moonsault to the floor. They return to the ring and he gets a near fall. And then Murphy gets kicked on the head. Murphy responds with elbows and he sends Metalik to the apron and then into the ring post. Of course, Metalik falls to the floor. The referee starts his count. Buddy goes to the floor and he sends Metalik back to the ring. Murphy then gets a near fall. Buddy with a kick to the back. And then with a knee to the back. And then he applies a rear chin lock. And I tell you what, he's looking fantastic tonight.
Well, Metalik with elbows, but Murphy's able to get Metalik to the mat and he holds on to the reverse chin lock. Metalik backs Murphy into the corner, but Buddy with a kick and punches in the corner. And then he puts Metalik on the turnbuckles and then punches him. Then he sets up for a superplex, but Metalik with punches and he stops Murphy in his tracks. Grand Metalik with a sunset flip powerbomb to Murphy and both men are down. Metalik goes to the apron, hits an enziguri, and then Grand Metalik with a springboard crossbody and he follows with a boot to the head and a bulldog, and then with a chop.
Well, Metalik with a springboard back elbow for a near fall. Metalik gets Murphy on his shoulders, but Buddy gets to his feet. Metalik with a super kick and a moonsault from the turnbuckles. Metalik goes up top again, and Murphy crotches Metalik on the turnbuckle. Metalik knocks Murphy off the turnbuckle and goes for a moonsault, but misses. Murphy catches Metalik off the turnbuckle and hits a powerbomb. Murphy with another powerbomb for a near fall.
Well, then he hits Metalik with a super kick, and then with a bicycle, a clothesline, and a Metalik driver for a near fall. And then Grand Metalik kicks Murphy, but Murphy sends Metalik to the apron. He catches Metalik off the ropes and Metalik with elbows. Murphy flips Metalik over and Metalik's knees buckle. Then Murphy with a running knee to the head and he sets for Murphy's Law and gets the free count.
Yeah, so your winner, my man, Buddy Murphy. After the match, Buddy gets on the mic and said he said it before and he'll say it again. You can't stop the unstoppable. He says he's the strongest and fastest in the division, which he is. This is a step towards his title match in Melbourne, where he becomes the next Cruiserweight champion. And I wholeheartedly agree.
Well, could this be a sign of things to come? I mean, winning it in his own home country?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, Vic Joseph mentions that Mustafa Ali has been medically cleared to wrestle and we will see him in action tonight.
Wow.
Well, let's see what happened when Ali faced Hideo Itami last month. Wow, that was impressive.
Mustafa Ali's in the locker room and Cedric Alexander stops by. Cedric wishes him luck in his match and he says 205 Live has not been the same. Ali says he's fine and says he wishes he was teaming up with Cedric tonight. Alexander tells him to get back where he needs to be. Alexander says he's happy with his tag team partner. We'll see Akira Tozawa in the room and he waves at Alexander and Ali. They wave back.
Yes, and up next is Mustafa Ali versus local competitor Michael Thompson.
Not Michael Thompson.
The Michael Thompson. But before the match can start, Hideo Itami's music plays and he makes his way to the stage. Itami says something to Ali in Japanese. He said he came to watch Ali's match because he's missed Ali. He hopes Ali is feeling better and wishes him good luck. See, James and Ali, they've both been out ill.
I know. And at least Itami is being nice to Ali. Like you've been to me. Well, Ali with chops and follows with a dropkick. Ali with a chop in the corner. Ali slides to the corner and flips over and avoids the splash into the corner. Ali with a slingshot roll and X Factor. Always love that move. Ali is sent into the turnbuckles. Then Mustafa lands on his feet on a belly to back suplex attempt. He hits a super kick to the back. He goes up top and hits the revert. What do I call it?
Reverse 450.
And he hits the reverse 450 for the free count.
The inverted 450 for the free count.
Your winner, Mustafa Ali.
With Drake Maverick in his office and he brings in Drew Gulak and Jack Yarker. Drake says he's excited for the main event and he hopes the match does not fall into chaos. Drew says he was answering Cedric's challenge last week, but he wants to put the past in the past. They're going to dedicate their victory to their injured comrade Brian Kendrick, who is at home. Jack says that he hopes Drake does not get too preoccupied with the authors of pain.
Well, Drew...
And, sorry to interrupt, but I actually saw quite an interesting video of the Brian Kendrick the other day. It happened during an episode of SmackDown. And I believe it was Mark Henry was coming out, making his way to the ring, and Brian Kendrick ran past him naked and then runs around the announce table.
Oh, Spanky.
Yeah,
I'll get old Spanky. Do you know he held the WWF title for about 2-3 minutes in the championship scramble, the Lee Brian Kendrick.
The heavyweight championship.
Yeah, he was there, and obviously the match didn't end. But at that point, he had Ezekiel Jackson in his corner, and they thought maybe. It's weird what he's done throughout his life, really, Kendrick. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Drew, and he's only hoping for a positive working relationship when he becomes Cruiserweight Champion.
Well, we're back with comments from Noam Dar. He tells Leo that he knows how young Hot Shot on 205 Live. But he tells Leo if you want to make a big deal about making it to 205 Live at 23, he did it at 22.
Leo Rush asks if Dar didn't learn from Akira Tozawa to keep his name out of your mouth. Leo says Dar has peaked while Rush is on the upswing. Next week, Dar will feel the rush. He will not feel the rush.
He will feel the rush. Well, Drew Gulak and Jack Yarker versus Akira Tozawa and Cedric Alexander is our main event.
Gulak and Alexander start things off and Drew's his boots. They lock up and they have a series of standing switches until Alexander takes Gulak to the mat. Cedric with a back heel kick and he sets up for a lumbar check, but Gulak escapes and goes into the corner to talk to his partner. Ha tags in and hits a wrist lock. Alexander with a reversal side headlock takedown. Jack escapes and he works on the hand and fingers. Alexander with a handstand head scissors followed by a dropkick.
Cedric sends Gallagher into the turnbuckles and tags in Tozawa. Alexander with chops and then Gallagher flinches and is hit with a double jab. Gulak tags in Tozawa. Gulak tags in and Tozawa with a jab to Gulak and Drew goes down. Drew with a sunset flip, but Tozawa rolls through and kicks Gulak and hits the back senton for a near fall. Gulak with a punch and a knee to Tozawa. Tozawa with a satellite into an octopus. That sounds like a really fucking weird move, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm going to hit you with a satellite and I'm going to transition into...
I love you being hit by like an octopus.
Well, Drew gets to the ropes with force Tozawa to release the hold, and Tozawa kicks Gulak and applies a side headlock.
Well, Gallagher tags in and Tozawa goes for a crossbody, but it's caught by both men and slammed. Gulak with an elbow drop, and then Gallagher stretches Tozawa until Akira can get to the ropes. Jack with a kick and a takedown for a near fall, then with a knee to the midsection. Gulak tags in and he punches Tozawa in that midsection. He then sends Tozawa into the turnbuckle, and then Jack tags in and connects with a headbutt. Love that move. Tozawa with punches, but Gallagher with a European uppercut for a near fall.
Well, Gallagher with a knee to keep Tozawa from making a tag. Gulak tags back Gulak tags back in and he connects with a boot in the corner. Drew gets a near fall and then he tags Gallagher back in and Gallagher with a chop. He then stands on Tozawa's head and knocks Alexander off the apron. Gulak and Gallagher double team Tozawa while Alexander takes the referee's attention from the match. Gulak tags in and he applies a wrist lock and then hits a side Russian leg sweep and rolls through into a powerbomb for a near fall.
Gulak goes for a powerbomb, but Tozawa blocks it. Akira counters a powerbomb into the DDT, and both men are down. Haka tags in, and so does Cedric. He hits a clothesline and a block kick. Alexander with a back elbow and a neutralizer for a near fall. Jack blocks a lumbar check, and he gets a near fall with a roll up. Cedric with a standing C4 for a near fall. Sets up the cover, and he stays in the ring, and then says something to Alexander, and then leaves the ring.
Well, Gallagher sidesteps Alexander, but Cedric with a forearm. Gallagher with a running drop kick and gets a near fall. Gallagher sends Tozawa to the floor. Gulak tags in. They hit a clothesline and flying knee combo, but Alexander kicks out. Gallagher tags in. They go for a double suplex, but Alexander blocks it. Then he lands on his feet and kicks Gallagher. Tozawa tags in, and Gulak and Alexander go to the floor. Tozawa with a missile drop kick, and then Tozawa with a back heel and a spinning heel kick that sends Gallagher to the floor.
Well, Tozawa a suicide dive headbutt, or like we call it a
Benoit kid killer.
Kamikaze dive, yeah. Tozawa a suicide dive headbutt, then they return to the ring. Tozawa goes up for the back senton, but Gulak puts Gallagher out the ring. Cedric goes after Gulak and he punches him. Forearm to Alexander, followed by a European uppercut. Gulak chops Alexander and sends him to the ring post. Gallagher with a headbutt to the upper chest. Gallagher pulls Tozawa into the corner, and Gulak tags in and applies the Gulak, and Tozawa taps out.
And your winners, Jack Gallagher and Drew Gulak.
My God, so Drake Maverick is asked about the main event. He says that Drew Gulak is deserving of a title match, and since Cedric wants to do it as well, Cedric will defend the Cruiserweight Championship next week on 205 Live, and that will be on our next net review. That will be for October. That will bring that to you next month, and that is it for this month's 205 Live. Dan, what have you thought?
It's been interesting, but it's not been NXT.
It hasn't, but Buddy Murphy's putting a couple of great
I don't
performances.
care.
There's been a couple of great matches. Come on now, against the
don't care.
Lucha House Party has
care.
been brilliant, and his match against Kalisto as well has been really top notch.
Oh, is it? Still don't care.
I hope Buddy Murphy can become Cruiserweight champ because he has been the must-see thing on 205 Live recently.
Still don't care.
All right, so we move on to news then.
No.
And All In. On May 16th, 2017, wrestling journalist Dave Meltzer was asked on Twitter whether he thought Ring of Honor, the company the Young Bucks and Rose are contracted to, would ever sell out a 10,000-seat arena.
It was a monumental task. No one outside of WWE had drawn a crowd that big in the US since WCW went under in 2001, a span of 17 years. Ring of Honor was on the upswing, but still well short of where WCW was, even in its dying, to say nothing of present-day WWE.
So Meltzer replied with the only thing that seemed reasonable: not anytime soon.
11 minutes later, Rhodes fired off the tweet. That would set everyone on a course towards history. I'll take that bet, Dave.
The decisions flowed from there. They stationed a show in Hoffman Estates, Illinois, a suburb 30 miles northwest of Chicago, where the local Sears Center Arena boasted a capacity of more than 10,000. They filled out They filled out the card with a core of themselves, as well as Omega, Hangman Page, and the villain Marty Scurll, their close friends and stablemates in the Bullet Club, the faction they all wrestled under in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Slowly they rolled out other talent to augment it, from global stars such as Kazuki Okada to up-and-comers like MJF, taking care never to announce a full match. They secured a deal to broadcast the show via pay-per-view. They kept corporate sponsorships to a minimum.
Tickets went on sale May 13th, 2018, almost 1 year to the day after the bet with Meltzer was placed. The Bullet Club crew, sans Omega, convened in downtown Chicago to hold a press conference to help drum up ticket buys. They arrived carrying a trump card in their pocket, the announcement of Mysterio, perhaps the biggest free agent in wrestling. If nothing else, they figured it would juice ticket sales over the ensuing 3.5 months. After all, it would be foolish to expect a show this large to sell out in a few minutes.
I mean, they were right. It took 29 minutes and 36 seconds to sell out.
Jesus.
So after all that, the story, All In was this weekend, September 1st. We both saw, well, I saw the event. We both saw the event. We both got thoughts about what happened in it. So we're going to do what we've never probably done before, and this is focus on an independent wrestling show as it is, because it is big news, you know. No one has done this apart from WWE, like we say, for 17 years. So let's just run through the card and a couple of quick thoughts about it. So match 1 was So Called Uncensored, which was Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, and they beat the Briscoe brothers, which is Jay and Mark, and obviously it's a tag team match.
Well, this was the first of 2 matches for the WGN portion of All In, called 0 Hour. This was an excellent match that the crowd loved. The action was crisp and got the night started off right.
Match 2, the over-the-budget Battle Royal, and of course the winner of that was Flip Gordon.
Well, this had a few surprises like Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer, but the big shot came from Flip Gordon, dressed in a mask and winning the match by eliminating Ray. Flip took the mask off and Ray was pissed. The crowd was thrilled that Flip won, and so was I. I forgot about the possibility of putting Flip in as a surprise. With the end of this excellent match, All In ended 0 Hour part of the card and entered the pay-per-view properly.
Yeah, I mean, the first match start of the pay-per-view properly was Matt Cross beating
Michael J. Fox.
No, this was an excellent match that opened the pay-per-view. You can expect to see the same great stunts that the very best young lions of the sport have perfected, but embodied with an immediacy that is only possible with this event.
Up next, it was a match that kind of catches our eye. We're fans of the DC verse and Arrow in particular, and this was Christopher Daniels going against Stephen Amell, who plays Oliver Queen, aka the Green Arrow. This ended up being a really good match. Amell showed more promise than Roman Reigns does, which is pretty good praise from us. Daniels did a great job at keeping Amell going and proved to be one great ring general.
Yeah, I mean, all the praise to Amell, but it was Daniels here, the veteran guy, kind of kept the spots together. But I feel it was a great match. What did you think of it, seeing as you're such a big Stephen Amell fan?
Well, for someone who isn't a wrestler, you know, we've seen him do the Ninja Warrior UK course, and we've seen him in action on the Green Arrow, so he's used to his stunts and that. But, you know, doing a coast-to-coast, which isn't an easy move, and doing a really badly failed table dive as well, and still managing to get up and keep your wherewithal to carry on a match, and just to have a very good match as well. It's not easy. You know, we've seen the likes of David Arden, even going back to Dennis Rodman and what they've been producing, Cole Malone in WCW 20 years ago. It's.
Well, and yeah, I know exactly. So as a celebrity being involved in it is great. The other thing I like about it, Stephen Amell is obviously a fan, or obviously a friend of Cody Rhodes, and they worked together when he was Cody was Stardust in WWE. And you think, was he going to be like loyal to WWE? But no, Stephen Amell is on his own right. He's got a lot of social media fans. Like we say, DC Universe and the TV show, the Arrowverse, is massive as well. And to be involved in that, and to be a fan, and to have Cody involved in this, and then to be there, it just seems like a really nice thing that they did. And to put his body on the line, I'm surprised they signed off with him being able to wrestle when you consider, you could. I know they probably already filmed most of it now, but the following season's coming up as well. Match 5, Tessa Blanchard beat Madison Rayne, Britt Baker and Chelsea Green in a 4-way women's match. This was really good, and it gave the right women the win. The action was crisp and fluid. Tessa came out of this looking like a second coming of Medusa. We all know how good Medusa was. Blanchard really impressed me, but all these 4 women impressed me. And this is the thing I like about women's wrestling. It's not just in the WWE at the moment. They showcase it at the All In event, and we can see it kind of worldwide how good women's wrestling actually is as well.
Blanchard, she was in last year's Mae Young Classic.
She was my pick in the Mae Young Classic last year,
Yes. But, anyway, it was a good match nonetheless. Match 6, it was Cody Rhodes, and he beat Nick Aldis in the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship match. And this is, it has got a lot of meaning to it, this title bout. I mean, because it was held by the great Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Well, this, as if we talk about a world title bout, goes back to, I would say, kind of 1902 with George Hackenschmidt and Frank A. Gotch, because the thing about it is that's the lineage that the NWA as the National Wrestling Alliance had during that time period as well. And it was only until the 60s or 70s, or even the 70s, when WF made their own world title, and of course the AWA did as well. Then that started branching out, and this is, like I said, associated with not only all that history there, people like Lou Thez and the Briscoe brothers and the Funks, but moving up as well into the 80s and being a part with WCW with Dusty Rhodes, Bebe and Ric Flair and Sting and everybody involved, and then of course falling out with that. We even saw the NWA title being defended by Jeff Jarrett on the episode of Raw in 1998, didn't we? You know, so it's kind of this is the struggles it had. Connection with TNA and the NWA champions, Kurt
So
Angle.
it is the slag of title
It
belts.
literally
been around a lot.
is. But this is what I love. Cody Rhodes has seen this and is still, out of all the titles in the world, no disrespect to Ring of to anybody like that, but the NWA title, the lineage, you could argue that is bigger than any other world title in the sport, given the correct storylines and stuff like this as well. Another thing about the NWA title, quickly, Billy Corrigan was involved with Impact, and now he's bought the NWA. He's trying to change that as well. So there's a lot of change going on in NWA, and with Cody Rhodes versus Nick Aldis. What do you think of the match, Dan?
Well, this was their careers, and it was a crowning achievement of Rhodes' professional life. Rhodes was a man possessed by a greater purpose than he's ever had before, and he channeled that purpose into every second of this match. This should have been the main event, but at least it had all of the time it needed to become the great match that it deserved to be. The NWA World Title has been resurrected once again.
Yeah, and if you don't believe that, just go back and watch a video clip of the ending of it with Cody Rhodes, you know, Cody covered in blood, lifting the NWA title up. It is, and that's a great moment. I really was surprised that it was kind of middle of the card, but there is reasonings for that as well. After that, we had Hangman Page beating Joey Janela in a Chicago street fight. This was a wild brawl that took some dangerous risks that I don't condone, but at least it was done as a matter of sincerity. These guys really put their backs into it, so to speak. I leave it to you to decide if these guys went too far. There were some really sick bumps in this matchup, and you know it's not taste, I understand, but I feel they give us a little bit of everything as well along the card.
Match 8, and it is Jay Lethal, and he was going against the man who won the over-budget Battle Royal, and that was Flip Gordon for the Ring of Honor World Championship. And this was an excellent match that gave Flip his big moment for All In. I'm surprised Lethal didn't have the title moved off him, considering that accusations made against Lethal. That being said, the match is really good one, and should set the stage for going forward. And I believe, didn't Jay Lethal come out in his machismo? Get up, well, his machismo gimmick.
Yeah, we got the news of the night, yeah. Match 9, Kenny Omega beat Pentagon. This was a fantastic match every step of the way. This is everything I thought it would be and more. And seriously, Kenny Omega and Pentagon involved in Lucha Underground. And of course we know about Kenny Omega involved in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This was a kind of first time ever dream match that you get in that pay-per-view as well. And WWE are interested in these two guys, and if you watch the match you'll realise why and how good they are anyway. It really was next level shit.
Kazuichi Okada, and he beat Marty Scurll, the villain Marty Scurll. This was a fabulous match. I had an awful lot of wrestling in it. An awful lot of great wrestling in it. I love this one. I would love to see more between these two.
Yeah, the story of it was Marty Scurll. It couldn't be a heavyweight challenger because he was either too small, the cats wasn't great. Could he hang with one of the greatest kind of heavyweights that Japan has seen in Okada? And that was the story of the match. And even though Scurll lost, it took 3 rainmakers to put him down, which usually, you know, 1 rainmaker would do it. The story told in it, I think, was perfect. And it's great that someone like Marty Scurll, and I want to say just because we've met him, but having the match of the night at All In. Go on.
Yeah, well, no, and I was just saying the fella, and we met him when he was just Party Marty.
I know.
This is before he became, you know, the villain and the huge character that he is today. And he was a down-to-earth guy, even though he played a heel during the event we saw. He was an absolute down-to-earth guy. You know, I had photos taken with myself, yourself, and my little brother. And yeah, you know, it was a great thing to meet him.
Yeah, and this is the thing why it's worth going to independent shows around independent wrestling. Yeah, you're in a selfish way. You'll never know if these guys might become one of the biggest stars of all time. You know,
right? So you know, and just saying that we've met Colt Cabana, which is your idol.
yeah,
we've met Drew McIntyre,
Drew
which is another
McIntyre.
one of your idol, current tag team champion. We've met Ricochet, current USA North American heavyweight champion, or whatever it is. And again, he's another down to earth great guy. We've met a lot of Apollo Crews,
yeah,
Nation,
when he was making his way. I mean, there is.
And these to get autographs off him, you've got to pay a $5, or just it's a small amount compared to having to queue up and wait in a 50,000 man line to go and get an autograph in a few seconds. How long was the conversation you had with Drew McIntyre?
Well, I should. Yeah, I know exactly. And
don't go telling people you told him that you're going to go back to WWE.
Yeah, I said this
you're
is
going
a
to go
plan.
to NXT.
Yeah.
Don't give me that. I was there and I was stood next to you.
No,
you can ask his dad, James.
No, but the thing is about it, though, is this is the thing: is that Ricochet and McIntyre never charged for the pictures, and that's a fact.
They probably did charge, but we didn't pay for them.
We didn't do it. We were like, no, you don't know who we are. We're big fans. Match 11, the main event of the night, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson versus Kota Ibushi.
And Kota
Shit
Ibushi.
me. Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson with Kota Ibushi beat Rey Mysterio, Fenix and Bandido in a 6-man tag team match.
Well, this was a great match and a fine main event. People ate this match up, as they should.
Yeah, people were saying it was a bit short, but I think the reason why they put this on last is so everybody else could have their time in the match, and then the Young Bucks, maybe cut it short a little bit. Kota Ibushi, interesting enough, you're picking the Cruiserweight Classic going back a couple of years now. I mean, that's 2 or 3 years ago. Of course, Rey Mysterio there as well. So that was a great main event, and overall the show was great. But news of the nights, we've got a couple of news of the nights. Road Warrior Animal was a guest.
Jay Lethal, Colt Cabana and Flip Gordon fought off Bully Ray.
Lanny Poffo was in the corner of Jay Lethal, who worked the match as Black Machismo.
And Lanny Poffo is, of course, Macho Man's son.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho dressed up as Pentagon and attacked Kenny Omega after the latter's victory.
I mean, this was fucking huge news. Jericho at the moment, he says some weird fucking ass things about being as big as Brock Lesnar and stuff like this. But to be the New Japan Pro Wrestling Intercontinental Champion and to be involved in this event like this and attacking Kenny Omega, it's really fucking weird what's going on. Jericho is making himself kind of like the independent darling of professional wrestling, He's bringing Ring of Honor and TNA to get Impact Wrestling together on a kind of cruise that he's doing in October as well. So Jericho really starting to believe his own hype, but I loved it when I saw Jericho. I was like, fuck me! I was like, Jericho! Sorry.
And, of course, DDP worked the event in Cody Rhodes' corner.
Yeah. I mean, this is a 4.5 out of 5. It's a great card that was a resounding success. The production quality, even with a few mistakes, was great and was comparable to WWE, and that is saying something when it comes to that.
This could be the start of something beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Is that potential there, isn't there?
A definite lot of potential. Cody Rhodes' big weekend raised the eyebrow of The Rock. Although the People's Champ created his legacy in WWE, Rocky is a well-documented fan of all facets of wrestling, of the wrestling industry, and the significance of Rhodes' historic NWA title win, which did not go unnoticed by the most electrifying man in all of entertainment.
He says, "Congrats, my friends. So fucking cool. That's a real legacy and history you're now part of. Proud of you. Your pops is looking down and smiling big." And hashtag £10 of gold, hashtag NWA Heavyweight Champion. And that's from Dwayne Johnson. I mean, how fucking cool is Dwayne Johnson, should I say?
Yeah. And Cody Rhodes went on to reply, "All in the family, thank you for paving the road for us." And, that was obviously Cody Rhodes.
I know, lovely by Cody, but I mean, the Rock Man is a huge star. He doesn't need to do shit like that. And it just shows how much he does care about the rest of the industry. And like I say, it is fucking cool. Like I said, Dusty Rhodes and now Cody Rhodes being NWA champions. It is, it's a really, really cool thing. And another cool thing is All In looks like to be a financial success as well. It pulled in 11,263 fans at the gate for a gate of $458,525. Between All In and StarCast, Fight TV pulled in over 1 million iPay-per-view sales. That works out to 20,000 to 25,000 iPay-per-view buys between the two events. This does not include any traditional pay-per-view buys or possible bumps in subscriptions to the Honor Club or the New Japan World Services, which has also carried the event. Now, I mean, like I said, it's great news that it was such a success, and and the wrestling world has changed somewhat when this has happened. I want Cody to go on to have success that he has, but part of me wants all this in WWE. I want the Young Bucks. Yeah. I want Kenny Omega, or I want Cody. Am I being selfish there? Should I just let independent wrestling have them?
Well, it's when we had him, we didn't appreciate him, and now he's gone, we want him more than ever.
I know, it is mental. And he said as well, and I believe him, because everything he says, he said he's made over $1 million this year working on the independents. And when you consider, 12, 14 people in WWE getting more than 7 figures a year, we know the guys who are getting the serious money, but then you go to middle of the road packs, how much is Drew McIntyre getting? I know he's probably going to get
oranges, yeah.
Exactly, but it's you go down the card, is he happy? It's a great thing, and that's why we focus on it. The next big thing for kind of Ring of Honor is with their show with New Japan Pro Wrestling in Madison Square Garden. The thing I don't think it's the biggest deal as All In event is because that's over WrestleMania weekend and you're taking advantage of WWE, whereas this one you did it yourselves. So fair play to Cody Rhodes, and I think that's fair to say about All In. Dan, anything else about that?
No.
On to Daniel Bryan.
Yes, Daniel Bryan is reportedly on the verge of finalising the deal to remain with WWE.
Well, according to Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Bryan has signed his new contract, and that was last week.
The contract isn't official since WWE has yet to sign off on it, but it is reported a formality.
Bryan's contract was set to expire September 1st, but he made it clear last month that he was likely to remain with the company.
Well, in an interview with Sam Roberts for the Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast, the 5th greatest podcast, after, of course, the number 1 from the WNR, Bryan said, I think at this point it would be a 90+% with regards to the odds of re-signing with WWE.
Bryan also explained why the re-signing process was taking so long in an interview with Max Lawton of Fox Sports.
This is the first time in my career ever. The thing that's taking so long with all of it is I've never hired a lawyer before to look at a contract. So this is the first time I've done it, so it just takes longer than usual.
My last contract, I think I signed it in 2012, so then I wasn't married with Brie. Bella and I were together, but I wasn't married, so you're trying to get all your ducks in a row, especially because I'm older and married and have a baby.
There were some thoughts that Bryan would test the open market since he would have been the hottest free agent in wrestling.
New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, and essentially every major company outside WWE likely would have had significant interest.
Instead, Bryan appears content to stay with the company he's been part of in some capacity since 2010.
Bryan returned to active competition this year at WrestleMania 34 after missing 3 years due to head injuries and has been a key part of the SmackDown Live roster ever since.
In a move that may have made it even more exciting for Bryan to stay, WWE booked him in a tag team match for the September 16th Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Him team with his wife, Brie, against The Miz and Maurice.
And now we're talking about Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana took to his Art of Wrestling podcast, the 4th best wrestling podcast in the world, and briefly touched on his current unpaid legal fees lawsuit against former best friend CM Punk.
There was some news that got leaked out. I understand it was going to happen. This is the perfect place for me to be right now because I was super stressed out when it got leaked out and people were talking about it. I don't even want people talking about it. I just want to be in my own. That's all I want, and luckily I just go to shows and I go to perform and I don't have to think about any of that. All I want is for this thing to be settled, to be done with, and to move on with my life.
Well, Cabana added that he doesn't have anything else to say about CM Punk or the lawsuit and will attempt to refrain speaking further on the subject until everything unfolds.
Cabana did address rumours that he was backstage at a WWE show.
He said, I don't know who spread this rumour that I was backstage at the WWE. Last WWE I did a podcast with Hornswoggle. It was a house show and that was probably 4 years ago. The internet doesn't always get it right. That's okay, they're known for that. It's kind of the charm of the internet. The one thing I don't like about it, I don't want Colt Cabana speaking down to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fan of Colt, but come on now, mate. You know, easy.
Well, being
tiger.
The 4th best wrestling podcast, it's got to be something hard to him. It's obviously we're top. We've got Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast number 2.
Yeah. Jericho's at number 3.
Jericho is number 3. Colt Cabana's number 4. And the Sam Roberts is number 5.
I'm surprised you put it that high up.
I know
you like it. Anyway, we mentioned him on Controversial Characters.
All In was a special show, but apparently Joey Mercury wasn't able to enjoy the groundbreaking event because he was preoccupied by the Chicago PD.
Mercury was staying at the hotel outside Chicago, but for some reason he was sleeping in his car, as reported by PW Insider. Police showed up and they ran his information.
At that time, the former WWE superstar and current Ring of Honor producer was found to have an outstanding warrant in Orange County, Florida. He was taken into custody on Saturday morning. At this time, we're unsure what the charges are that were found, but we'll keep you posted as always.
Yeah, I mean, Mercury was supposed to help book the over the budget Battle Royal during All In 0 Hour show and work backstage during the event, but those roles obviously had to be changed.
Well, police investigate Jason Sensation's threat he'll shoot himself at WWE Raw.
Well, a man who impersonated former W star Owen Hart in an episode of Raw threatened to shoot himself during the Raw broadcast from Toronto. Weirdly enough, we had seen this episode of Raw, a month ago or so, and we asked who it was, Jason Sensation, and this is the dude now.
Yeah, this is carried on from our controversial characters.
Yeah, obviously.
I got my gun through security and will shoot myself in the head and kill myself during tonight's hashtag Raw in Toronto. Don't you dare miss it. Thanks for the memories at WWE. Read the since deleted tweet posted to Jason Sensation's Twitter account per Ben Jordan Kerrin of Wrestling News Source.
Well, the Toronto police would later release a statement confirming Sensation was not at the arena per Wrestling Sheet.
There were numerous tweets to Toronto police regarding a threat made by Jason Sensation over Twitter. We have been investigating it thoroughly. We are with Mr. Sensation now. He never was at the Scotiabank Arena. There's no concern for public safety.
Well, Sean Ross Sapp said both WWE and the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto were made aware of the tweet as well.
During the July 6th, 1998 edition of Raw, Sensation During the July 6th, 1998 edition of Raw, Sensation impersonated Hart as part of a sketch show in which D-Generation X mimicked the Nation of Domination.
And Vince Russo, Dan's Twitter friend, was the WWE head writer at the time, wrote a message to Sensation on Twitter. He said, "Brother, I hope you're kidding. Just try calling and texting. Please, man, you have an army of people out here to take care for you. Please."
Well, Mark Middleton of Wrestling Inc. received a text from Russo confirming the tweet was a joke and Sensation is okay.
Well, that is a hilarious joke, but that's what some people do to, go back and watch it on the network. WWE will return to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for a special event on Friday, November 2nd. PWI Insider first reported the news on Wednesday afternoon.
So, right, you're telling me, that we've got an event on your birthday, and these cunts can't even put an event on my birthday. They have to put it the day before my fucking birthday.
Well, obviously, I spoke to them and said, "Can you do it for that day? Because then we can do it on Saturday."
This will be the second WWE show from the country of the year after the Greatest Royal Rumble back in April. Beyond that, details are scarce. WWE has confirmed the location of the upcoming Saudi Arabia show and whether or not it will air on the WWE Network. As part of planning for WWE's return to Saudi Arabia on November the 2nd, the company's previously scheduled European dates for October have been rescheduled to May 2019.
Yeah, that's quite a big change because, we've got Raw and SmackDown in November in the UK, so they're going to switch it around. The November 2nd event is part of WWE's obviously multi-year deal with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Although the Greatest Royal Rumble was a financial success, it's not without controversy. Due to the country's conservative social climate, female superstars were not allowed to participate in the first event. WWE co-president Michelle Wilson addressed the situation during the WWE's Q1 2018 investor call.
I think everyone is familiar with the fact that we have obviously been very vocal about our female performers and rebranding them as superstars, said Wilson. We feel really good about our continued commitment on that front. There are many countries around the world where we are respected to the cultures, and we're respectful to the cultures there. But we certainly hope to be part of the change moving forward. And
WWE Executive Triple H will also address this sensitive issue, noting that the first show was a foot in the door with hopes that progress will be made over time.
Well, a week before they've got an all-women's pay-per-view, so...
Do you think that's why they scheduled it for, really? Because they thought, we've got this Saudi Arabia show coming up, why don't we just say, oh, look, that was a women's one, this is a men's one.
Well, shortly after the Greatest Royal Rumble, the Yemen-based branch of the terrorist organisation Al-Qaeda issued a warning to the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, calling his efforts to liberalise the kingdom as sinful projects. The Crown Prince was accused of opening the door wide for corruption and moral degradation by allowing WWE and other aspects of Western culture into the Middle Eastern country.
Well, you talk about moral degradation and Big Cass. There were a lot of rumours found, at least from WWE, when it happened back in June. There were talk of personal conduct issues like drinking on a tour, having heat with the locker room, allegedly refusing to rehearse a promo, and possibly also disobeying direct orders from the big boss himself, Vince McMahon.
The long and short of it, obviously he was too much trouble than he was worth, and he wasn't worth the steam off of my piss.
During a recent interview with Booker T on his Heated Conversation podcast, the number 6 best podcast in the world, he was asked about this and straight out said WWE did the right thing, letting them go. This is Transition via Wrestling Inc.
If I'm going to be honest with you, I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes in a very short period of time. I did some things that I shouldn't have done. I guess the company couldn't rely on me and couldn't trust me. Look, I'll be honest with you, in my opinion, they made the right decision for them. It was the right decision to get rid of me at that point in time. Not to say I won't be back, but at that point in time, they definitely made the right decision for them. To be honest with you, looking at it, they made the right decision for me. Everyone makes mistakes, but
Mistakes in that short period of time, you lose people's trust and you're not reliable anymore. I definitely wouldn't have fired myself. I definitely would have fired myself. If I was in Vince McMahon's position, I would have fired myself for sure, 100%.
Fucking hell. Well, he says later that his goal is to work his way back to WWE after a run on the independent scene, but it's quite clear from his comments he is trying to say the right things. Whatever he may have done to be released, he sure seems to be holding himself accountable for his actions while pledging to put his time into work his way back.
Well, in the famous words of Daniel Bryan, no! No! No!
Talk about injuries now. It's not good for you, Dan.
Oh no, it's not good for me. But breaking, due to an injury sustained at the weekend, Tony Storm is out of this week's Progress show in Hamburg, Oberhausen and Frankfurt. News soon on a replacement.
Tony Storm featured in my Young Classic this year, but luckily for her and you, Dan, it's already been taped.
Progress Wrestling has confirmed that NXT UK superstar Tony Storm will be cleared to return to the ring in time for the big September 30th event from the SSE Arena in Wembley, London, England. She will face Ginny and Millie in a triple threat. Storm suffered an undisclosed injury at the NXT UK TV tapings in Birmingham, England on August 26th during the NXT UK Women's Title Tournament.
So you are so lucky. Storm, it wasn't a serious injury for her. She is recovered and ready to fight on. We talk about returns. It's been over 7 months since Samir Singh went down with a torn ACL, but it looks like he's almost ready to return to WWE television. Singh underwent surgery in late January. He's been training hard in the gym, and it looks like that for him.
I would love to see the Bollywood boys make a return to 205 Live. A torn ACL is usually an injury that will keep a wrestler sidelined for about 9 months. It looks like it's healed well, and if all goes well, then he should be back in action within the next month or two, probably as part of Jinder Mahal's act alongside brother Sunil.
Well, WWE never confirmed how he was injured, but apparently it happened on an episode of SmackDown Live in January when the Singh brothers attacked Bobby Roode. That's what you get when you attack Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode, a dangerous, dangerous wrestler, and that's why he's tagging with fucking Chad Gable on Heat.
Fuck off.
Well, Singh wrote the following on Twitter alongside a before and after photo. 7 months is a long time to be on the sidelines. I've had a lot of time to think. The rehab process has been long and frustrating, but I wanted to get back in the best shape of my life. The road to recovery is a long one, but I was very happy with my check-in results this week.
And if you've seen the picture, he is absolute. Absolute. I wrote 3 words. I didn't know how to spell absolute. Out of the 3 there, what do you think's correct?
The second one.
Absolute.
Absolent.
He was absolute.
Yes, it is time for the Raw review.
Yeah, and a couple of quick news stories this week, Dan. What do you think of Raw, anyway?
I didn't think it was too bad. There was a few progressive storylines going on there, a few good moments as well. One that will interest you is new tag...
Nice.
The team of Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler attacked the Revival on their way down to the ring, as per Baron Corbin said, look, if Revival can't make it to the match, he'll make something else happen. The Revival was attacked backstage. Their music hit. They didn't come out for their match against the B Team, go, go, go. Instead, it was Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre that came down, fought them. It wasn't a one-sided match, which I'd have assumed.
Yeah.
And managed to capture the tag team championships.
No, it's a great moment for Drew McIntyre finally winning gold back in WWE, and you know the way he's being booked at the moment, you honestly think he is going to be not the next big thing, but you would think he's going to be champion down the road. What happens to Strowman as well is another thing. You know, it's interesting, but another way you don't want people to lose their momentum. You know, and I think Ziggler is the one getting really helped out by all this. He's like, cannot believe his fucking luck at the moment. He's like,
he's getting rubbed like a good one.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a champion. He's like, here we go. But no, I think it's interesting what they're doing there. But what about Alexa Bliss, Dan?
Yes, Alexa Bliss has been part of several big moments since she was called up from NXT. In a manner of speaking, everything she's done has been notable. After all, she's a five-time women's champion at this point, and she's only been on the main roster for a couple of years. Bliss was able to pull down a victory on Raw this week as she defeated Natalya to hype Bliss's eventual match against Ronda Rousey at Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's title. This was a pretty good match. What do you mean? But what it really meant for Bliss might speak much more when you look at her record. Well, thanks to Raymundo on Reddit for pointing out.
Thanks to you, Dan.
Thanks to me and my sources for pointing this out to us, to you. As we observe, impressive about Bliss, not her.
Hang on.
Not the two things, rather.
No. Last night was the first time Alexa Bliss has won a match with nothing on the line since May 22nd, 2017.
The last time she's actually won a match that didn't have any stakes to it, i.e. a title match, number one contender match, qualifier match, just a regular match, was all the way back on May 22nd, 2017 on Raw against Mickie James.
Also another fun fact, it was her first submission victory.
Well, Alexa has some work to do on her arm bar, but it was enough to get the job done against Natalya on Raw this week as Bliss won a rare match in front of a hometown crowd.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was quite a good moment as well. She was like, because GPD was out there playing a song. Alexa Bliss came out, ruined him, said, "Like, I'm sorry for
ruined him,
ruined the moment,
ruined the moment.
Don't you dare!
I didn't.
Ruined Elias's moment and said, "Look, you know, this is my." I actually passed high school graduation in this here building, and she said, "Look, there's one thing about this crowd," and she said, "OH," and the crowd went, "IO, OH, IO," and then she obviously ran them down, typical Bliss fashion, and it was quite a good moment.
No, it was good. It was quite enjoyable. Like I said, I enjoyed McIntyre and of course Ziggler winning the tag team titles. Anything else happened at Raw? I can't really remember.
Did you see Drake Maverick coming out with the AOP?
Oh my God,
Have
how
you seen
odd!
The picture of it?
No,
as his profile picture, he's got his head and like you can see the sides of Razara and Akam. And through his cover photo, he's got Razara and Akam, and you can just see the top of his head.
Oh my God! I couldn't believe it when they did it. It's like sort of kidding fucking creative wrestler just got it wrong.
It started off with Ziggler, Strowman, and McIntyre in the ring at the start of it. They was cutting a promo. Well, Strowman was cutting a promo saying that I've got my boys now. I've got my pack, and we're ready to go with the Shield. That, of course, brought out the Shield, who came down in Shield fashion through the crowd. First wave of superstars came out. The Shield fought them off. There's about 6 or 7 of them, maybe about 25, 30.
Yeah, at least 30 people. Yeah.
The Shield fought them off, surrounded the ring. Out come another wave of wrestlers. They was all fought off as well, and then the Shield made the way in the ring. There was a bit of tussling, and then all of the wrestlers came down and broke it up. And I thought, look, Bobby Roode's got some TV time. And I didn't think he was in a tag team match. I was like, look, at least they're using him well.
Well, Bobby Roode now is teaming with Chad Gable. We all know that's happening Raw. There was something else. What the fuck was something else I was going to say? Oh, yeah. Kevin Owens, he quit WWE.
He did quit, yes. Bobby Lashley was in the middle of the ring with Jinder Mahal trying to get a calming, because Constable Corbin thinks that Jinder Mahal is, not Jinder Mahal, that Bobby Lashley is just too aggressive, so he tried having a soothing session with Jinder Mahal. And then as he was sat in tantric moment in the middle of the ring, Kevin Owens came out and attacked him from behind and started a feud with him.
Oh, it's just one of those things that I just didn't want to. I thought the Owens quit would be leading into something else, not this. I mean, Owens is a dude who just constantly works as well. You know, think all the big bumps he's taken and everything like this. He's not really missed a show out of, these past couple of years since he's come up from NXT and everything like that. So that's Raw, but another man who's not missed any shows as well.
Me. It is the Smackery. And AJ Styles has closed in on a significant milestone as WWE Champion. The Phenomenal One has been champion for 300 days straight. Only 8 other superstars have held the WWE Championship for 300 consecutive days. Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, Pedro Morales, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Kevin Nash, John Cena and CM Punk.
Well, the next milestone for Styles would be CM Punk's 463 days as WWE Champion. If you recall, Styles began this title reign on November 7th, 2017 edition of SmackDown Live on the USA Network in Manchester. Oh, fuck, it says it anyway. When he beat Jinder Mahal in Manchester, England. As of this talking, Styles has held the title for 305 days.
Of course, the man who was WWE Champion more days than anyone else in history is the late Bruno Sammartino, who held the title for a staggering 4,040 days. That is 11 plus years during his illustrious career.
Beat that, and then I'll consider you as a greatest champion of Bruno Sammartino. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, Styles will extend his streak to 31 consecutive WWE pay-per-view events this month at Hell in a Cell. Incredible by Styles.
That was nothing to do with SmackDown, though.
Yeah, Styles is part of SmackDown. Technically, I mean, what did you think of SmackDown this week? You watch it?
No.
Mixed Match Challenge is back.
Mixed Match
Challenge! Yes, WWE Mixed Match Challenge will be returning to Facebook Watch on September 18th, which is a strong indication that Facebook was happy with the numbers drawn for Season 1.
Season 2
2
will feature some old favourites from Season 1 and brand new teams.
Yes, and we have the brand new teams. I can't believe it. Bonus point online. We'll pick a team right now. And Season 2... Oh, this is fucking brilliant. So, Team 1, The Miz and Oscar.
No, sorry, what team was it, James?
Team 1, Miz and Oscar. Team Oscar.
Team 2 is Braun Strowman and the Beautiful Bliss.
Team 3 is Rusev and Lana.
Mashka. Team 4 is Jimmy Uso and Naomi.
We've got Finn Balor and Bayley.
Sasha Banks and Bobby Lashley.
Carmella and R-Truth, which I think is just a really weird team.
Well, you think that's weird? Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal. No, and Jinder... Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal.
We've got AJ Styles and Charlotte Flair.
And our last but no means least team will be Kevin Owens and Natalya.
I mean, we look at that, you've got five teams coming back from earlier this year, 5 new teams. Who are you fancying in this one, Dan?
Alexa Bliss. Oh, sorry, what team?
Yeah.
Who won season?
Miz and Oscar won the first series.
Oh, that was when Oscar was undefeated.
Yeah, that was when Oscar was undefeated. That's why I got the point
that's
for.
when the Miz was relevant.
Yeah. So now we got to pick. What do you mean the Miz was relevant? Miz was relevant. I'm not going to argue about.
Oh, just keep casting them out and you just hook.
No, I'm not going to respond. I don't think Owens and Natalya will be successful. I will say that now.
Owens and Natalya. I don't mean Owens and Carmella.
No, Carmella's with R-Truth.
Owens.
You fucking racist. I don't see colour.
I don't think Carmella and R-Truth will be.
No, I don't think they'll be
successful.
great either.
I don't think Fox and Jinder Mahal will be.
No, I don't. Who do we think?
Who do?
Who do you and who do I? I'm going to go. Fucking hell. Bonus point on the line for
AJ Styles and Charlotte Flair.
Sasha Banks and Bobby Lashley.
Cool.
All right, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, all right, fair enough, bro. Just shaking it.
Let's kiss and make up.
So there you go. So bonus point on the line for that when it starts. So we'll be arguing about that as time goes by. Fans will be able to vote and interact on Facebook just like last season. Starting this season, there will be a special pre-show at 9:50 Eastern before the main show kicks off at 10 p.m. Eastern. But this year, it looks like they'll be switching a few WWE Mixed Match Challenge, something worth tuning into. After all, the last season only featured one match, and the fans were expected to tune into 205 Live as well. The Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that the second season of Mixed Match Challenge will now feature 2 matches and will be 30 minutes long in a round-robin tournament setting.
Now known as just Harper on SmackDown, the former Wyatt family member captured the SmackDown Tag Team titles with Eric Rowan at WrestleMania 34. but the pair dropped the belts to the New Day just a few weeks ago after Rowan suffered a legitimate injury.
Well, nevertheless, fans were shocked when NXT North American champion Ricochet's challenge at the event was answered by Harper, which attending fans absolutely loved, as WWE's video shows. I mean, go and check that out.
Harper has produced some killer singles matches during his main roster run, including a great ladders match against Dolph Ziggler at the 2014 Tables, Ladders and Chairs pay-per-view.
So it's absolutely no surprise to read that the attending fans loved the bout, which Ricochet won with a shooting star press.
This may turn into a regular thing for Harper whilst his partner is on the shelf for at least the next 4 months, but it's hard to argue that a singles run on SmackDown would be greatly appreciated.
Up next, one more match. Well, Michaels claims he remains retired out of respect for Taker, but the dead man isn't convinced.
Didn't I text you something about this?
Yeah.
The Phenom seemed to be indirectly challenging his legendary rival to come back for one more match so that he can beat him again.
Well, the 7-time world champion said, respect? Is that what you're saying? Is it respect or is it fear?
Because if you'd have ever chosen to come out of retirement, there would have been only one person, me.
And make no mistake about it, I will put you down all over again.
You know it, I know it, they know it, and there's one thing you're going to know. In Melbourne, Australia, I'm going to put your buddy Triple H down again.
Well, and the Undertaker's already said that Kane is going to be in his corner for the match in Australia, and it might lead to a tag team match in Saudi Arabia. But how much would WWE pay Shawn Michaels, though?
Well, they'll pay him $2 million, which is around £1.5 million, to come out of retirement and face The Undertaker.
Those are incredible numbers, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, what is the name of the pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia?
Crown Jewel.
The Crown Jewels. So we've had Great Balls of Fire. We've had Crown Jewels. What's going to be next? Testes?
Yeah, flaming anus. No, I no. What are your thoughts on Michaels returning? Would you want to say that?
As long as it's not awful. As long as it's not, I don't know, because against The Undertaker, really, I'm sure there's loads of other people that it wouldn't be as wasted against.
No, but if it opened the door for his return, then I might be for it, considering, maybe a Styles and Shawn Michaels match down the line. But I think Michaels is worried about being the man that he was. If he can't put in the performances, then what's the point? I know he's getting money, but I would like to see Shawn just maybe one more match. Just one more match. Anyway, Dan, on to your favourite subject, women.
Yes, WWE have gone full steam ahead, all hands on deck, and any other transportation-themed item you can care to think of with their upcoming Evoloution pay-per-view in recent weeks. Parachuting the likes of Trish Stratus into Raw to help promote the show, scheduled for some really weird date in October.
Yeah,
28th.
The best date in October, 28th. Well, 50 stars are slated to appear, including the who's who of women's wrestling history, at least a specific version of history told by the company. Sonogal, Kim, or Manama Toyota, in other words. Yet, despite the company's best efforts to make the event as prestigious as possible, ticket sales are said to be stalling. Dave Meltzer said Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio this weekend, Dave Meltzer fielded a question about how the 14,500 Nassau Coliseum was filling up.
Well, they sold 7,000 and about 2,400 of them went to scalpers. The building will probably end up full when all is said and done, but it's not nearly as hot a ticket as I expected it to be, and the secondary market is not strong at all.
Well, admittedly, the show's over a month away, but selling just under half the capacity with a third load snatched up by resellers is just not a great sign. Meltzer continued.
It's much lower than most pay-per-views and it's not a flop, but it's definitely weaker than probably any WWE pay-per-view in a long time.
Well, appetite for the show may be tempered by the fact only 3 matches have been announced so far, and the belief that Ronda Rousey is to be wasted opposite Nikki Bella. Whatever the reason, the struggling sales could have damaging implications for the promotion's continued push of women's wrestling. It's ironic. WWE finally give fans apparently what they want, and what they do, they don't want it. But we have had a leaked card for Evoloution as well coming out. We don't know if this is 100% true or not. I mean, it's on social media, so how could it not, But we're going to just run through the card quickly. There's a bit of paper that was there. Right, so the matches are for Evolution. We've got Rhea Ripley versus Ginny versus Killer Kelly versus Dakota Kai, and that is the NXT Women's Championship.
A special announcement is a segment.
Then we got Carmella Talk Show with the Ladies of Glow segment. I love Glow Wrestling, that's on Netflix.
We've got the Riot Squad with 2 T's versus Sasha Banks, Bayley and Ivory.
Ooh. We've got the Mae Young Classic final.
We've got a 20-woman battle royal. The winner faces Kairi Sane for the NXT Women's Championship.
Oscar versus Ember Moon.
Naomi versus Melina.
Ooh. Mickey James versus Lita.
Kairi Sane versus the winner of the battle royal for the NXT Women's Championship.
You got Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus.
Alicia Fox and Kelly versus the Iconics.
Versus
Peyton Royce and Billie Kay versus Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, exactly. Huge news there. We're going to see a Women's Tag Team title. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, SmackDown Women's Championship.
Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Tag Championship.
So that would be the main event. I mean, what do you think of that card, just looking at it there? I think the huge news is the Women's Tag Team titles, if let them and be a part, you know. I think that will be really, really big news. But you don't seem very hyped about this card.
I'm not. And it's not the female side of things, but, you're going to have Beth Phoenix and Natalya. And you're going to have Kelly and Alicia Fox, right? So them two aren't going to win because they're not going to stick around long enough to defend the Tag Team Championships. So it's either going to go to the Iconics or it's either going to go to Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. You've got a 20-woman battle royal, which is no disrespect, but it's going to be awful.
Unless Nikki Cross can come in and save it.
Unless Nikki Cross is there. But I suppose the special announcement segment is going to be the Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yeah. I bet you're surprised by Oscar versus Ember Moon as well, if they're actually going to have that as
that could potentially be a good match. Mickey James versus Lita, again in a kind of...
veterans.
Yeah, that's a polite way of putting it. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair has the potential to be good. Yeah. Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey is going to be awful. Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus, again... it's going to be one of them ones that could be good, could be terrible. Yeah. Naomi versus Melina, that's not going to be that good.
Oh, Melina as well is going to be blacklisted from WWE recent times, so now they're going to bring her back. So
Toni Storm versus the Mae Young Classic 2018 finale.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. That could be
a good match, because the last Mae Young Classic final was very good, so this one could be good. I don't have high hopes.
No. But we hope they, something happens on the pay-per-view, maybe something, a few changes. This is not official card, of course. This is just a leak backstage. But more women, and WWE's moved to announce Team Permanent. The company announced Young will place Jonathan Coachman as the third person at the table alongside Michael Cole and Corey Graves for Monday Night Raw. She will be the first woman to announce the show on a full-time basis.
It's a move that has seemingly been in the making for some time. Young has been joining Cole and Graves for women's matches in recent weeks, and she is part of the Mae Young Classic broadcast team with Cole and Phoenix.
Coachman will switch roles and become the new host of pay-per-view kickoff shows.
Young, 32, so she's not that young. She is actually quite young because I'm 32.
Well, younger than you, isn't it?
Same age as me. Young has been with WWE since 2012. She began her career doing backstage interviews and has increasingly become part of WWE fabric. Her role has since expanded to hosting shows on the WWE Network and the pay-per-view kickoffs, in addition to interviews.
Yeah, she says, I'm so insanely excited about this. To be the first woman to take over the chair that so many amazing, talented visitors sat in before me. Thank you to Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Michael Cole and Graves, and many others, Young said on Twitter.
And Renee Young's September the 11th interview with Zelina Vega, who lost her father in the World Trade Center terror attacks on September the 11th, 2001. This part was recorded after Vega appeared on SmackDown last night. Vega noted that this year was the first 9/11 she spent without family. She talks about arriving to SmackDown to so much support from her fans, including Triple H, telling her how proud he is, and Vince McMahon giving her a big hug before she went out with Andrade Cien Almas.
And if you hear about Almas and the reaction he's getting backstage being very well liked, this is a great thing for the 311 boy and Zelina Vega. But we're talking about another one of our, well, he's not one of our guys, but it's Elias.
The GPD.
GPD is back in the news.
Well, back in the 1990s, there were quite a few occupational wrestlers in the WWF. These characters in another profession, like a garbage man, Duke Drosy, a tax auditor, Owen R. Shyster, a dentist, Isaac Yankum, a repossession agent, Repo Man, or a Mountie, the Mountie. Yet for some reason, they all decided to spend their time wrestling in the WWF.
Well, Elias doesn't really have much in common with these characters, but there was one central question I often ask myself about the Elias character that I think also applied to all the 90s occupational wrestlers. Why the heck is this guy wrestling?
Well, Elias comes out on Raw most weeks, plays his guitar and sings songs with lyrics that taunt other wrestlers or the local town, but he doesn't seem to actually wrestle all that often.
The last time he fought on pay-per-view was on June 17th at Money in the Bank, where he failed to take the IC title away from Seth Rollins. Here's a full listing of his televised matches on Raw since that date.
July 9th, Elias and Corbin versus Rude and Balor.
July 16th, Elias versus Lashley.
August 20th, Elias versus Kurt Hawkins.
And that's the complete list right there. Just 3 title matches spread across 12 episodes of Raw.
I'm not stating this to be critical of WWE. If they think Elias' ceiling is that of a mid-carder, then this is actually the best way to use him. He gets consistently great receptions from the audience, and he can use his heat to help out other stories, as he's done in recent weeks, with his involvement with characters like Trish Stratus and Alexa Bliss. He's over enough with the audience where he was able to smoothly fill in as John Cena's foil earlier this year on the road to WrestleMania. After Samoa Joe went down to injury, Elias is in a good spot, and it feels like he could easily take off if WWE ever decides to give him an upper card push.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I really like Elias, and it's a shame he's not being featured more. But now on to Big Papa Pump, and Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner spoke with What Culture last weekend at StarCast, and as usual, he's always honest with his thoughts on the wrestling business. He gave his thoughts on All In, selling out in 30 minutes, the G1 Supercard and MSG, and a lot more.
Well, excuse the language in this, it does get a bit fruity. But Steiner on his time in WWE, fucking brutal. The 2 times I was there were the 2 times I thought about quitting. They're fucking weirdos, man. Right, and this is a guy with surgically enhanced muscles, Freakzilla, Big Papa Pump, yeah. Right? Just bear that in mind. The bullshit you've got to put up with now, and it's worse because you got one of the biggest cunts running it, Stephanie McMahon. What the fuck does she know about wrestling?
That's right. Scott Steiner called Stephanie McMahon a cunt.
Oh, the biggest cunt.
The biggest cunt. Steiner says he feels bad for the wrestlers because they get pigeonholed with stupid characters, and that makes him want to do the same interviews that creative prints out from. It's not my picture of wrestling was, Steiner says.
Right, and then let's go again. Stupid characters. This man came down with a chainmail gauntlet on his fucking head.
He once came out with a tiger. That's what I like about him. Who does that?
And this is Freakzilla.
Yeah.
He also said that the death of WCW was the worst thing that could happen to wrestling because WWE is better when they have competition. So they're shit, but they're better when they've got competition.
Yes. Well, all you need is another big network, Steiner said, and would be, yeah, it would take someone with deep pockets like Rupert Murdoch, and it would be great for all the wrestlers.
All the boys are getting screwed. Independent contractor? Nobody is an independent contractor under law. It's bullshit. We're not independent contractors. They demand too much of our time, and how he gets away with it, I don't know. Right, let me just... So they've bleeped out the bullshit, but they've kept cunt and fuck. Alright, anyway, yep, can't carry on.
Right. CM Punk seemed to call any rumours of a potential return to the wrestling ring.
Appearing on ESPN's The MMA Show, Punk explained nothing in the sport is drawing his attention right now.
It's not even a matter of not going to wrestling because I'm busy doing other stuff. There's just nothing that interests me in wrestling, he said.
But then he ended it with right now. I can't be with you, James. Right now. As for why Punk didn't make an appearance at the All In show in Chicago on September the 1st, he never received a formal offer from Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks.
He says, I never was made an offer to be there. He said, hey, if you want to come, you should come. I was like, okay. It's extremely vague. It wasn't an offer.
Rhodes told Geary last month he vaguely talked to Punk about doing something at All In, but Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks made the pitch to the straight-edge superstar.
Well, Matt actually made a full offer for full pitch for his services, and I think Punk is focused on the mixed martial art element of his career. One of the reasons we didn't first come out and say, here's who we want you to wrestle, because I think we just wanted to be part of the event for a lot of fans. He captured their imagination even with the amount of time he's been gone. He has a mythical presence to him. I thought it would be good for him to connect with them, but that's me, you know.
Well, Punk was in Chicago the weekend of the event for a personal appearance at Pro Wrestling Tees.
Ric Flair, previously reported, TMZ picked up on a story that Ric Flair was married for the 5th time this week to longtime fiancée Wendy Barlow at ceremony in North Florida on Wednesday.
Woo! In an update, Dave Meltzer reported on the latest instalment of the Wrestling Observer Radio that the two weren't actually married. Instead, the event being a marriage ceremony, it was a commitment ceremony.
I tell you what, there's a couple of great videos and pictures out of this wedding right now. The video is Michael Hayes giving the speech to Ric Flair, and you can see the Undertaker and everything like that when he's talking away in it. Go on, Dan.
No, it's not about that. But there was something about on that Mick Foley 20 Years in Hell. And he said, he's like, yeah, somewhere out there, because he said about Terry Funk inducting him into the Hall of Fame. And he said it was short, sweet, to the point. And he said, somewhere out there is Hillbilly Jim still doing his induction speech.
Well, anyway, we had a couple of pictures. We had Dennis Rodman alongside The Undertaker with Ric Flair as well. And The Undertaker had 2 drinks for him as well, cheeky
He had
bastard.
2 drinks in his hand and they looked like shorts as well.
Unbelievable. So we can go and find that footage. That is there. On to SmackDown 1000.
SmackDown will celebrate its 1000th episode on October 16th at the Capital One Arena in Washington. And WWE seemed keen to pull out all the stops to honour that impressive milestone.
Well, numerous wrestling legends have been linked with a stunning return, and one of them is WWE Hall of Famer Edge.
The superstar, however, claims he's not aware of any future WWE televised appearances.
The 11-time world champion retweeted a fan's tweet claiming that a tag team specialist would be on SmackDown 1000, and he replied, news to me.
News to me?
Edge.
Well, The Undertaker will return for next month's historic episode shortly after his final clash with Triple H at WWE Super Showdown.
Some of the Blue Brand's top stars will also be part of the show, such as AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, US Champion Shinsuke fucking Nakamura, Samoa Joe, The Miz, Jeff Hardy, Carmella, Asuka, Becky Lynch, SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, SmackDown Champions A New Day. There's going to be loads of talent there.
And Randy Orton.
Yeah, fuck him. WWE legend and Hollywood celebrity The Rock, don't know if you heard of him, was linked with a surprise appearance to the show because it basically named the show after one of his catchphrases. Do you want to see The Rock on SmackDown?
No, you roll.
Shut your mouth. Here comes the pain. Anyway, on to arrivals. And speaking of The Rock, it's like I done it on purpose.
The Rock's daughter looks to be joining the family business sooner than expected. As the WNR can confirm, Simone Johnson is training on a part-time basis at the WWE Performance Center.
Yeah, on the latest podcast, on the latest episode of Lyndon Garcia's Chasing Glory podcast,
which is the 8th.
Yeah, 8th best podcast. But Chasing Glory doesn't sound the greatest name for a podcast. Selena Vega talked about becoming close with Simone Johnson and revealed the 17-year-old has been training at the PC in Orlando. Was
Elena detailed working closely with The Rock during the filming of Fighting With My Family and how Simone gave her the ultimate compliment following a shoot at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Vega says Johnson told her, I knew I wanted to start wrestling for sure, where I saw you at Raw doing the movie.
Well, sources tell us that Simone has been training part-time at the PC for the past few months, mainly just occasional sessions with trainers, but there's word going around that she'll be starting at the facility in a more serious manner in the near future. Since she's still in high school, it's safe to assume that factors into her schedule. Well, back in November of last year, Simone spoke about being interested in the business.
At the time, she hoped to give it a try following graduation from college.
It's a sport that is unlike anything else in the world. There's a certain amount of passion that every move and match requires, and they're so admirable. It's definitely something I want to pursue, Simone said.
The Great One later came out...
In support.
I know, but it said... The Great One later came out in support of his daughter pursuing sports entertainment, saying she'd be a future champion in the business, and if The Rock has something to do with it, she will be.
She fucking will be. Injuries. While discussing Jason Jordan's status on the latest instalment of Elite Audio, Mike Johnson indicated there's a chance that WWE never clear Jordan's return competition coming off his neck injury.
Yes.
It's horrible.
Yes. Well, I heard there's no time frame on when Jordan will be returning to the ring, if at all. That's why they got him backstage working in production. Apparently, it's a lot worse, his neck, than they thought it was going to be.
Or is this irony, seeing how he's meant to be playing Angle's son and he's suffering from similar neck injuries? Isn't that a bit weird how, the story plays? It's time for NXT Update. And Dan, when does it start?
No, it's time for NXT Update, and when does it start? Don't say Dan.
All right. It's time for NXT Update. And Dan... Oh, fuck. Hang on a minute. It's time for NXT Update. And Dan, when does NXT Update start? All right.
Oh, for fuck's sake, no!
So it's time for NXT Update, episode 466, August 29th.
NXT is back in Full Sail University this week after wrapping up their fourth NXT Takeover event from Brooklyn, New York a few weeks ago. Now that the show is back in Orlando, a renewed focus on rising NXT talent, starting new feuds, and the mystery over who attacked Aleister Black have begun. William Regal spoke with Kathy Kelly backstage before NXT began and informed viewers that he is now launching a full investigation in order to find out who put Black out of action.
Do you want a bonus point on the line for who attacked Aleister Black? I know, I think Johnny Gargano actually did though.
I was thinking towards him as well, because the way he's been...
I know. We shall see the way he becomes, yeah. It's the dark side. Well, speaking of which, Johnny Gargano came down to the ring with no entrance music while using a crutch. Gargano injured his knee during his last man standing match against Tommaso Ciampa at Takeover, costing him a chance to win the NXT Championship in the process. Gargano was met with a positive reaction, and he said he did not deserve the chance of applause from the fans. Gargano says he appreciates the fans for always having his back, but he does not know where to go now. He acknowledged that he let Ciampa get in his head, and he acknowledged that he let Ciampa get into his head, and that he even sort of became him during Takeover. Gargano feels that he made some broken promises and he has no idea what's next for his career at this point.
Well, out comes William Regal, who asked Gargano if he was the one who attacked Aleister Black in the parking lot at Full Sail. Johnny does not answer, but instead asks Regal to look in his eyes, and before that happens, the Velveteen Dream emerges and says that tonight's NXT should not be about a loser like Gargano, and especially someone not even in the building like Aleister Black. It should be all about himself. The man who beat EC3 and made him look like a fool.
Fuck off.
He got on the ring apron and referred to Gargano as Johnny Failure, which immediately caused Gargano to go after Dream. Regal breaks up the fight and tells Gargano to leave the arena and for Dream to come to his office backstage. He promises to make a match official for next week in order for these two to settle their differences.
What happened to the crutch?
Oh, the crutch. Johnny Gargano came out with a crutch under his arm, and Velveteen Dream was like goading him and that, and Gargano threw the crutch at him. He said, look, the referee just said I needed the crutch to help me get around on it. He's like, I don't need it.
Up next, it's Dakota Kai versus Aliyah, or Nymph.
Well, Aliyah is back on the show with a brand new and much more aggressive attitude than she has shown in the past. In fact, Nymph took a large percentage of this match, getting some punches in on her opponent early and taking complete control after Kai missed the dropkick.
Do you know, I absolutely love the name of Nymph. I'm sorry, but I am always going to call it. I know I brought it up before. I always bring it up. What a great name. And it's spelled Npooh. Nymph.
Well, I've always said it's a sound that an elephant makes when he farts underwater. Nymph.
Well, the announcers mentioned that Kai is looking to build herself back up after being defeated by Shayna Baszler during her first shot for the NXT Women's Championship a while back. Aliyah gave her boots to the back. Nymph gave her some boots to the back and dragged her face against the ring canvas for going for a pin attempt. After hitting a Fez press, Aliyah then put Kai in a body scissors for an extended period of time. It looks as though there's no way for Kai to get out of this one, but using her great strength, the New Zealander lifted Nymph up and rammed into the corner of the ring in order to break the hold and separate her.
Kai was then met with a kick in the corner which almost put the former Mae Young Classic competitor away. Aliyah was able to slam down Dakota and begin doing whatever it took to win the match, including hair pulling and harder strikes. In the end, Kai was able to fight back and dish out some of her kicks before getting the win with a backstabber. And your winner is Dakota Kai.
Well, the Velveteen Dream finalises next week's match against Johnny Gargano and leaves William Regal's office. The Forgotten Sons trio consisting of Wesley Blake, Steve Cutler and Jackson Riker, who used to be Gunner in TNA, and they are called into Regal's office. They were all present during the attack, but they denied having any involvement. They complain they've been trying to get Regal's attention, but they have got it now. Reasons. Regal's dismisses them from the investigation, but it announces that they will receive an opportunity to come to compete against an unannounced team in NXT next week.
Well, before his scheduled match against Raul Mendoza, EC3 was found laid out backstage. The suspect here was clear as Lars Sullivan could clearly be seen in the background.
Oh.
No, you've got to watch this bit.
Nikki
Cross bit. Honestly,
really?
Trust me, it is fucking brilliant. Well, Nikki Cross was asked about the attack by William Regal next. She said what she saw. She said that she saw the attack and called it beautiful. When pressed for an answer, all Nikki could do was spin in her chair and play around with Regal. She answered a non-existent phone call for the general manager until Bianca Belair walked in. Blair encouraged Regal to put more focus on her since she is undefeated and back to competing. Cross asked Bianca if she wanted to play, but Belair dismissed her and walked out of the room. Nikki asked Regal if she had more questions, to which Regal pointed out that he had several more. It was a strange segment, but it was brilliant for the character of Nikki Cross. I mean, you know, just the unhinged psychopath that she is. It was perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Raul Mendoza comes down to the ring, but EC3 does not appear. Instead, Lars Sullivan returns to the Full Sail for the first time since his rivalry against Aleister Black earlier this year. Unlike whoever attacked Aleister Black, Sullivan immediately confessed to beating up EC3 backstage. Sullivan said that Mendoza was standing in his territory. Mendoza tried to duck Sullivan and hit a springboard moonsault, but Lars instantly set him down and began punching him repeatedly. Sullivan got Mendoza up for 2 freak accidents and is officially back in business.
Tommaso Ciampa cut a promo backstage using his own camera to talk about the promise that he made when he received his injury last year. Ciampa said that he has fulfilled his promise and is now better than ever and also NXT champion. He says that he's not just climbed the mountaintop, but he's built a nest there. Ciampa says NXT belongs to him now, and there's no one in NXT who will be able to stop him.
Up next is Keith Lee versus Luke Menzies.
Recent NXT signee Keith Lee is back in his second match on NXT programming. In contrast, his debut match against Marcel Barthel, this bout was far less competitive. Lee started the match off strong right out of the gate by dodging his opponent and hitting him with a Hurricane Rana. Definitely impressive manoeuvre for a man of his size. He continued his onslaught by dishing out some punches to...
Next, Menzies got the chance to fire back and show off what he's capable of, but the outcome was never really in doubt here. Lee dodged a running strike for Menzies and took him down with an enormous shoulder tackle. Up against the corner, Lee slapped Luke's chest with both hands and then sat for a powerbomb. Lee got Menzies up and sent him crashing down so hard that the former rugby player bounced back up in the air. Lee earned himself another win with that one. The winner, Keith Lee.
Well, only Lorcan and Danny Burch are back on NXT next week. They've been missing in action ever since Lorcan received a broken orbital bone at NXT Takeover Chicago earlier this year.
I cannot wait to see one of the greatest tag teams in NXT. New NXT Women's Champion Kairi Sane is back on NXT next week, but her role was not specified.
Johnny Gargano versus the Velveteen Dream is also official for next week's episode of NXT.
But up next is our main event. It's Ricochet and Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole and Roderick Strong. And so here we go, the Undisputed here in the house. Adam Cole's not happy that he's no longer North American champion. Wants to make a statement.
You look like a complete fucking tool doing it.
Oh, you're doing it as well.
Oh, yeah, like, fuck. Have you got photographic evidence? No. So you just completely...
Why you changed your hands then?
I didn't do anything, James. You would have heard me moving. I clearly didn't move. I've got my
Well, you got your dick in, you got your fucking hand, your dick in your hand. That's what you got.
My dick in my hand.
You need to stop because the Undisputed Era here, the tag team champions, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, and of course,
former
Adam Cole, baby. My favourite bits in all of WWE. It's better than Burn It Down, isn't it? You know what I mean? It is.
Oh, yeah.
But what a matchup this will be, and the Undisputed Era, of course, will keep this 2-on-2. No.
Well, it is supposed to be handsome Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, but Adam Cole says, I want this match.
Well, Cole's...
I want to wait until people turn their back and attack them.
Cole
that's
is
the kind
tough.
of douche that I am.
How great was that match at Takeover between him and Ricochet?
It was good.
It was good. It was good. So if you know that he can deliver in the ring, now's his chance to shine against Pete Dunne, and Dunne's got unfinished business with Roderick Strong. As Dunne comes running in, Strong catches him straight away. Tries to grab the arm of Dunne.
Dunne rolling through, nipping up, turning it round, trying to alleviate the pressure, and reverses it onto Roderick Strong and goes straight after the wrist.
You just got to love what Pete Dunne could do in the ring. And Adam Cole gets to tag in now. And he's stomping down the UK champion.
Dunne throws him against the ropes, ducks down low as Cole jumps over him and leapfrogs him. Goes down again. Oh, and just catch him with a thunderous clothesline. Knocks that muggy smug face.
Well, Cole in a little bit of trouble now. And what a great tag team Dunne and Ricochet, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Go on, wrench them fingers back. Snap them.
Well, you got the nastiness and aggressiveness, the technicality of Pete Dunne, and then with Ricochet, of course, you've got the kind of high flying.
Ricochet wants to get in. Adam Cole runs away like a cowardly little bitch.
Adam Cole's not running away. He's going to fight. Roderick Strong just tagged himself in. How can he help it? He's going to do it his own time.
He ran away like a little bitch.
He did it. Roderick for action now.
He's like, yeah, Roderick Strong, you want some? I'll take you out and all your melt.
And Roderick Strong goes for the kick. Gets caught by Ricochet.
He delivers a few right hands of his own. Irish whip reversed. Ricochet flipping over. Calls him out. Rolls through. Oh, and a lovely head scissors takedown. Nips up to his feet. A lovely high leaping ability. Drop kick there from Ricochet.
Ricochet is so impressive, and he's getting hotter and hotter. He was unfortunate at his first takeover, losing in a ladder match to Adam Cole, but he got his revenge against...
Well, he didn't lose the ladder match.
Well, he did lose the ladder match. He didn't win it, did he? Well, no, but he lost.
He never lost it. He just didn't win it.
And now Adam Cole's in, and he's putting a hurt into Ricochet. I can see why you're getting upset now. I'll just explain to you. So, obviously, there's a match down the road. Ricochet has not finished with Adam Cole, and the same with Pete Dunne as well. And you've got to worry... Oh, nice net breaker by Ricochet about the Undisputed Era. They're getting enemies now. You know, not only these guys, Mustache Mountain, Raiders will do to them as well. This will be interesting times for the Undisputed Era as Adam Cole wins in an exchange there with Ricochet.
It's the only thing he can win against Ricochet. Nips up and just clotheslines Adam Cole inside out. Roderick Strong with the interference, distracting Ricochet so Adam Cole can attack him from behind, but that doesn't last long. Then Adam Cole gets Ricochet up on his shoulders. Rick with a backslide. From Roderick Strong.
Good tag team by the Undisputed Era. Ricochet hasn't noticed it yet as the Irish whips Adam Cole, who holds onto the ropes.
Oh.
And then the Messiah and the backbreakers. Roderick Strong in there, taking down Ricochet. And it's so effective by the Undisputed Era. Going to put him in their corner, cut off the ring. And work over him. Of course, Kyle O'Reilly there as well.
Handsome Kyle O'Reilly.
Handsome Kyle O'Reilly managed to keep an eye out on Ricochet. Dunne's desperate to get in, and Strong is poking the bear there. He was chopped to the chest by Roderick Strong. Ricochet trying to fight out though.
Oh, gets his leg taken down. Strong goes to the back of the head.
And that's clever by Roderick Strong. With the strikes backing him up now, and Cole coming in. Nice it when his opponent is down. It's all about the heavy lifting, and that's what he lets Strong and O'Reilly do.
So do you think, I think Strong has gained some traction now since joining the Undeserving era.
Yeah, I completely agree.
He was moved from pillar to post, not sure what his goal was going to be. He was in NXT, went over to 205 Live for a little while, come back to NXT, now part of the Undeserving era. I think this is the right place for him. He's I don't think he's strong enough to be his own man, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I think it's worked out well. It'd be interesting to see what happens when Bobby Fish comes back. And are they going to get a tag team with him and O'Reilly, or they're going to let him maybe have a singles run and Strong, may turn him against him and stuff. And I think the Undisputed Era, even though I know your strong hatred for Adam Cole, I think they've been a good thing for NXT. I really do, because it gives us more matches and more storylines to follow as well. The tag team titles needed handled with care after we lost so many great tag teams in NXT. And I think the Undisputed Era have done all right with that, and Adam Cole, at least for you, he's losing the big matches. Aleister Black at TakeOver when it mattered. Street Fight, he lost, and against Ricochet as well. So at least I think they're doing the kind of right thing and still kind of looking strong in that way of the Undisputed Era. I still think the NXT do it right because they still look after their faces more than the heels. I think it reminds me of old style wrestling somewhat. Ricochet is the biggest star because obviously he's a good guy. Same with Aleister Black and even Pete Dunne, because Pete Dunne's never officially turned, has he? But the crowd just respect him so much, I
think that's, that plays into a lot of it. It's if they get a good response and reception from the fans, then why not make him face? But then, you've got Adam Cole that, despite being a dick, he still gets quite a good reception.
Yeah. I mean, and that would be interesting if the Undisputed Era was to turn against Adam Cole, or have something like that. I don't think they will. They probably want the gimmick on the main roster. But I think Adam Cole, I would want to see him as, I know you would hate it, but like a face, maybe see if he had a little bit different fire, if he actually brought it in matches, as opposed to kind of being the hilly heel that he is at this moment in time. I think the options are open there. I think it would be possible to do that. And with Dunn, you could see him quite easily, turn everybody in his path as well. And he's done so well for the UK champion. And like the match after TakeOver that we watched, with him and Zach Gibson, it's just fucking fantastic, And and NXT delivers that, and the fans respect good wrestling still. So if you're a good wrestler like Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, you're going to get over with them, But
then, you've also got the Roderick Strong. He was teaming with Dunn.
Yeah, exactly.
So, these two guys go way back together, and then obviously that's when Strong turned his back into the Undeserving Era.
Yeah, and we've not really had an official blowout of that yet. We should say in this match at the moment, Ricochet's been worked on the majority of time, but now trying to fight off both Roderick Strong and Adam Cole.
Well, he kicks off Cole, elbows Strong off.
Oh!
And finally gets across a tag to Pete Dunne, who comes in. He's on fire, baby!
Well, he is. Look at the big boot and the kick, taking him down. Back body drop. Strong lands hard.
Oh, Arenala goes too over the top with his commentary.
I know, we mentioned that. And the right hands by Pete Dunne, jumping over, hitting Strong in the face.
Step up Insecurity, big elbow for Adam Cole, who comes in illegally like the dick that he is.
You should listen to WNR podcast, find out how to do it right. German suplex attempt by Strong. Dunne lands on his feet, kicks Roderick in the back of the head. And
then turns Cole inside out on top of Strong, goes for the cover on Roddy. One, two. Oh, but Roderick managing to kick out.
And now Pete Dunne, he's trying to put the bitter end on Roderick Strong. Here comes Ricochet.
Comes in with a lovely spinning suplex.
But that gives Strong enough time to recover. Headbutt to the face. Knee to the face as well, and then a kick. But can't put him up for a backbreaker.
He's got a triangle locked in.
Dunne's turned it around, but so then Strong trying for the Boston Crab.
But Strong with Dunne with a strength in his legs. Throws Strong against the ropes and delivers a thunderous German.
Now picks up again. Powerbomb.
Sit out powerbomb. 1, 2. Oh, but Cole in to break up the pinfall attempt.
Well, Cole to get in there now. Ricochet is going to...
Sin enough now.
Oh, no.
And after a little exchange, he sends Ricochet to the outside.
And now Cole's telling Dunne to get up.
Watches his foot. Ricochet off the top of a lovely spinning back elbow.
Well, Dunne held Adam Cole in position, and Ricochet there.
Pushing Dunne out the way of Strong's oncoming onslaught.
Well, that was clever there by Ricochet. Now Dunne is going to go flying to the outside. Strong and Cole are there. Oh!
Moonsault taking down both Strong and Cole.
I mean, imagine if William Regal went off the top rope. This is what we're seeing with Pete Dunne in a way. You know, that kind of power that he's got. 3 men down. Ricochet wants to join him. Oh!
They inadvertently dragged Pete Dunne into Ricochet's path.
Well, yeah, Adam Cole grabs Strong. And now Kyle O'Reilly's got Pete Dunne, throws him in. Adam Cole's got the tag. It's not the blackout. No, it's the last shot.
To the back of the head of Dunne. And that's a victory for the Undeserving Era.
Well, you got to admit, every time I say that, you never admit it. That's not bad teaming by the Undisputed Era to cause the distraction / get to the victory there.
Well, it is good storyline progression. It's a way of evolving the storyline. It's a way of evolving the storyline and getting it going on to the match between Ricochet and Pete Dunne as well.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. There's trouble brewing there. You want to be a proper champ. And now here comes Roderick Strong. He's not finished with Ricochet. And Ricochet's in serious trouble here. Undisputed Era just about to pick him apart.
Oh, he just spat in Ricochet's face.
Oh, O'Reilly with a knee to the midsection. Backbreaker. And now Adam Cole's going to put your man down. And Adam Cole proves the situation just like now. He can beat Ricochet.
On a one, James, can you count?
Well, Adam Cole.
3 of them.
Adam Cole just laid out Ricochet. That's what I've just seen.
Yeah, after O'Reilly hit him, after Strong hit him, after Cole hit him.
Well, no one's out here to save him. Oh, my God.
Oh, you spoke too soon. And the 3 members of the Undisputed Era run away from the 2 members of the Fridge Raiders.
Well, I tell you what, those 2 men are those
Hanson
3 guys.
And Rowe.
Well,
2 behemoths.
Very impressive by the Undisputed Era tonight. Getting out of harm's way, but they're building towards their enemy list now. What's your problem with Adam Cole saying that?
Well, it's not what he said. It's he put his thumb on his nose and waved his fingers. I mean, he's not fucking 6 years old. He may be a cunt. But that is just taking the cunting biscuit.
Well, I tell you something, talking about biscuits, the War Raiders not only want biscuits, they want the Undisputed Era and their NXT Tag Team titles. There's unfinished business for Pete Dunne and Ricochet as well as we move on to our next episode of NXT. Before we do that, though, I didn't even talk about match. What do you think of the match?
I thought it was a bloody good match, Peter. I mean, it was, it wasn't the greatest side of Ricochet and Pete Dunne. But I think it just progressed on the storyline that's happening between Ricochet, Dunne and the Undeserving Era, as well as Ricochet and Dunne across all bridges. And then, of course, the War Raiders coming out after as well, progressed that storyline that they're pursuing, the Undeserving Era and the tag team titles.
Well, and this is the thing, there's no wasted movement in NXT right now. You know, the whole new set of tapings, the whole new kind of machine starts again towards the next takeover. And basically, everything we see in this episode tonight is sent towards matches like the EC3 thing, Lars Sullivan, problems there, Velveteen Dream, Gargano. It's all kind of telling the same thing. We want to find out what's happening to Aleister Black. That's all really good at the moment, so we'll move on to our next episode of NXT, which is episode 467, and that is September 5th. Well, no pre-intro scene, as it's right to the theme song, and Mara Narlo, Percy Jackson / Watching, and Nigel McGuinness welcome us to the action.
Is Cassius Ohno, and he defeats Connor Reeves via pinfall following a rolling elbow.
Ohno is angry from his entrance on and snaps when Connor goes into his finest shtick. Reeves survives some strikes to fire back and hit an elbow drop from the top, but KO counters a Hawaiian drop for a quick finish.
On the mic after the win, he says when he came back, there was a lot of buzz, until there wasn't. Now he gets it. There's always going to be a new guy getting buzz, and when those guys show up, he's going to be there waiting to knock them back off the line.
Wow. And next up, it's the debut of the Forgotten Sons, Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake, and they defeat the Street Profits via pinfall following a knee drop DDT combo.
Well, Jackson Riker accompanies the Sons to the ring. Blake starts with Montez Ford and takes him down, but the comeback comes quick for a tag to Angelo Dawkins and the Profits clean house. Ford takes a sip from Angelo's solo cup and decides to fly. Taking the Sons out on the floor with a tope, Montez controls Cutler and works the arm, but after a standing switch gets a tag. Blake knocks Ford inside out with a clothesline, and that knocks him off onto Cutler's knee and knocks his chains off.
Well, the Hills target the neck while working quick tags. Near falls come off a Cutler leaping net breaker and a leg drop on the apron from Blake. Ford eventually gets a tag and Dawkins cleans house with strikes and slams. Cutler takes out Dawkins on the floor by throwing him into the steps, but Montel's answers that with a penalty kick that looked to bust Steve's nose. Fall follows that up with big DDT on Blake, but a couple of masked men run in and try to steal their cup and swag. One of these guys got and unmasked. It's shameful of the might. Distraction sets up the finish.
Yes, and Steve's nose does get bust open as well. He's blood pissing out of it. Heavy Machinery are interviewed by General Manager William Regal and his lawyer about the Aleister Black attack. Dozovic is freaked out about being under the lights and breaks down and confesses to clogging the toilet at the Performance Centre.
Oh.
He explains exactly how those stakes and weights cause his bowels and his body to get a shaking. Tucker Knight cuts him off, explaining that's not what this is about. Back on track, Regal thanks them for their footage of the parking lot. They say they saw Tommaso Ciampa near Black after the attack. GM thanks them and they leave.
Ooh. Well, after a recap of their loss to the Undisputed Era last week, the fallout scene between Ricochet and Pete Dunne is shown. We'll learn they'll face each other, champion versus champion, in 2 weeks, which unfortunately for us is past our cut-off, so we'll be watching it next month on the WWE Network review for October.
Well, the Raw Raiders they trash talk the tag champs. The era of Undisputed is over, but the raid never ends. And
Kairi Sane defeated Trisha Adora via pinfall following an insane elbow in non-title action.
Yeah, the new women's champ enters, revealing she keeps the belt in a treasure chest. Adora is an armed forces veteran and a Dudley Boys trainee from Washington, D.C. She has a size advantage and uses it to take down the champ early, but Kairi avoids an axe kick and quickly takes control. Adora makes the ropes to break a stretch muffler. Sane talks a little trash and gets caught with a forearm, but she sips out of the powerbomb setup and charges up. Sliding D, then the end.
Well, Shayna Baszler cuts off the post-match celebration by throwing a treasure chest to the floor. She tells the champ to enjoy a little fantasy because it will come crashing down and it will hurt inside when she uses her rematch clause. But for tonight, she wants to see if the pirate can swim. Baszler hits the ring and they're brawling. Shayna gets the advance line, but the champ gets back to her feet and catches some strikes, firing back with an elbow strike and an interceptor spear. The Queen of Spades backs up the ramp as Kairi declares the belt is hers. And I think Baszler using the common sense then, because the most dangerous woman in NXT will reclaim her throne down the line. Kairi Sane was lucky at TakeOver.
Yeah, you know, Shayna Baszler trying to attack someone after they've just had a match, and yet getting the worst off of the end of the stick and then backing away. You know, it's really big of her balls. Tommaso Ciampa films another backstage promo. The reason he hasn't been seen since TakeOver Brooklyn 4 is because he has no number one contender. Gargano is gone. Aleister Black is gone. He is the last man standing. And the reason he films these films himself is because he doesn't want to hear anyone's opinion. He doesn't want to be the voice of the voiceless. He's at the top of the food chain. There are some people out there who hear his message, though, and he wants them to follow his lead. Follow Tommaso Ciampa.
Well, Lars Sullivan has talked to Regal and the NXT lawyer. He apologises for the oversight of not reporting to the GM and that he was cleared. He asked about the attack on Aleister, and he said he was absolutely there to find Black and repay him for breaking his jaw at TakeOver Chicago. But when he found him, he was already down. We can know it wasn't Lars, because if it was, he'd still be down just after EC3. Regal says EC3 isn't cleared, but the man Sullivan attacked in the ring is. So next week, it will be Raul Mendoza versus Lars Sullivan. Lars promises to keep it in the ring this time.
And up next is our main event, and it is the Velveteen Dream versus Johnny Gargano.
Not only was this an extraordinary match, the storytelling was phenomenal.
Yeah, it comes great as well because, you know, with Velveteen Dream, we've admired what he's done recently, and he comes out wearing a Johnny Failure t-shirt, and he kind of tasseled it and made it his own personal cut, which I think is a good touch as well on the match.
Yeah, Gargano slowly descending into madness. Madness caused by an obsession with Ciampa and winning the NXT Championship. He's taken his eye off the ball far too often and has lost every time, driving him further and further into the abyss. Losing his dream will only make matters worse.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain, Harvey Dent said in the 2008 masterpiece, The Dark Knight. Right now, it appears as though Gargano is poised to join the dark side in NXT.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? So let's watch the main event. Is the Dream versus Johnny Gargano, and look at the shirt Velveteen Dream throws in Gargano's face. The thing about the Dream, he has got his fans out there as well. You know, there are people that really do like what what the Dream is all about. And here we go, bell rings. And Gargano been angry recently as well. He's using the crutch, but you were telling me that it's because the doctors advised it, not because he needs it. And even though that leg is injured, Dream came off a huge match at Takeover, getting the victory over EC3. So you got to think his confidence is full. Nice snapmare takedown on Gargano, just taunting away now.
The Dream, especially, again with that right sleeve, Gargano's got that symbol on his knee, with the winking eye and the smiling face. Gargano, Velveteen Dream's got one on his arm, but it's a sad face with the winking eye.
And it's, like I say, it's all the little things Dream does as a character to get, even the little match, the match is over in that thing. We've seen him do it before. And it is great, and I think it's a character like this would work really well if done right. I can really see Velveteen Dream going far. You talk about characters and that, there has been no better story than the Gargano Ciampa story being told in NXT in WWE over these past few years. I challenge anybody to tell me of a better story, and we're still not bored of it yet, are we? Do you know what I mean?
Definitely not. No, and it is what I would have liked Owens and Zayn to have been.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. It was over before it really started, Then when it came up to the main roster, it didn't really work out. I feel, if the plan is to get Gargano and Ciampa together again and go up the main roster as heels, then they can do exactly the same story again. I think it's perfect, you know what I mean? Like, it can continue after the fact as well. So, it
is a modern day Rock and Austin.
It really is, the story, whoever's been behind it, whether it's been serendipity or actually they've planned it out in this way, it's worked, and even the injury layer for Ciampa coming back is told, it got into the story well. And another thing that's happened to NXT is like people like Velveteen Dream have stepped up. People weren't sure if he was going to be able to after, like I said, people like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Nakamura, Samoa Joe all coming out, who would take up the mantle. Gargano's been there since day one, and the Dream, was he ready for action? And we've seen it these past few months, that he really is, and he deserves to have a main roster shot as well.
So, something that I don't really want to touch on, but I think it's quite an interesting point as well. But do you think it's the reason because of these guys, it's kept Adam Cole off the main event scene?
I think it has, yeah. I think with Cole, they were going to come. I thought they were going to go for the championship kind of way they were doing, with feuding with Black. But Gargano Ciampa's been so hot that you have to put the title on and tell the proper story there. And I think, it depends how long Adam Cole's down for. Now he's lost the North American title. After this goes away, after the Ciampa Gargano thing sorted, will he then be the one carrying the title? And another one's Ricochet as well. How long he's going to last? I'll be very surprised if Ricochet went up to the main roster without being NXT champion. And that's not just saying it because we're big fans of him, but it's the same here. I think with Velveteen Dream, he doesn't need the title at the moment. Where I think Gargano needs that. Well, then again, I always thought Gargano would need that title win.
But then we put Aleister Black, we said Aleister Black wouldn't need to win the title, but then he wins it, and under these weird circumstances, obviously surrounding Gargano, Ciampa, he kind of loses it. But if it wasn't for his injury, what would have happened then? Would we have seen the last man standing between Gargano, Ciampa? Would it be a threat match? Would it, could it have been different?
I think it would have been very different. Yeah, I think that this is the thing that. It is playing out for him and it's helping him that way. And plus, with the amount of talent on Raw and SmackDown right now, with the NXT call-ups, do you really need it? There's more time now for wrestlers to grow their characters and grow their, everything else style in NXT as we're seeing it now. Johnny Gargano's probably been there with Cassius Ohno the longest time, and it's how the storylines they're telling people to get behind him. People have been following NXT like we have since day one as well. I think it all works out for him. NXT is the best storytelling place in WWE because you've got an hour to tell.
Well, it's you got the two sides of the coin there where you mentioned Cassius Ohno. I mean, he's kind of fallen down the pecking order. He's going against Conor Reeves. I know he's still getting airtime, but he's not really in the main picture. Whereas Johnny Gargano, I mean, he's either main event in takeovers, main event in NXTs. He's there or thereabouts in the storylines.
I mean, Gargano has kind of turned into the John Cena of NXT in that way, in a weird way of kind of being the face. Like, no one's headlined, I might be wrong, but, kind of 4 takeover events like Gargano has had. all this year, he has been the face of NXT, and there's no arguing about that. Going against CN, Ciampa, all these things are kind of paid off for him, and even with Aleister Black's his NXT title as big as it could have been, because you got someone like Gargano there as well. And like I said, you want to take time telling us. Interesting thing in this match, it's not kind of been the hardest hitting action. You can tell they're probably taking it, not easy would be the right word, but not hitting it as hard yet. We saw a bit of the new aggression from Gargano on the outside, kind of staring at Dream. You wonder every time he stares at Velveteen Dream, is he actually seeing the face of Tommaso Ciampa as he runs him in the barricade? But then Dream slowly is taking over, using submissions to kind of wear Gargano down. But Gargano's got fight in him. He's not going to tap out to these submissions. So it's the Dream basically kind of playing like a cat plays with a mouse. This is kind of what the Dream sees at this moment in time. He can manipulate Johnny Gargano.
Well, currently, the Dream hasn't got anything on his mind. He's taken EC3. EC3's out of the picture. He's lined up with Lars Sullivan. You got Velveteen Dream. His only focus is on becoming number one. And he sees Johnny Gargano as the main threat to becoming number one competitor for the championship, or, becoming number one guy in NXT. So he sees he's got to take him down, and slowly but surely.
Don't call me Shirley.
Velveteen Dream's going to try and climb to the top, and to try and get to the top of his game and to the top of NXT.
And we've not seen Velveteen Dream, like I said, fully focused on going for the NXT title. And he's still young and he's still learning. Gargano trying to make a slight comeback, stopping it, goes to the second rope now, going to come down on Gargano. Gargano tries a suplex, but he's blocked by the Dream.
Oh, turns it around, but Johnny Gargano turns it around as well to a bit of a neck breaker. I know he's got a separation, and maybe the tides are turning in this match.
Well, finally a little bit of offense for Gargano. He has been beaten down these past few minutes.
He's been beaten down for these past few years.
Yeah, to be fair, we don't give out the Johnny Gargano award for most punished mistake in the match. Johnny Gargano, second rope low kick to the face. Nice Hurricane Runner on Velveteen Dream.
Step up in Segura, sends Velveteen to the outside. Is Johnny Wrestling going to go Johnny Flying?
Well, he's always going to take that risk, but sees Dream coming back in, lands on the apron.
Oh, but springboards his way in, or catapults himself in to a spear to the midsection, goes for cover, but Velveteen Dream managing to kick out.
Ah. And how close was that? Dream nearly conspire. Fuck it. Dream nearly gets caught then, and Gargano with a chop to the chest for VD. Irish whip.
Oh, and Dream flips over the top rope, lands on the outside of the ring apron. Gargano comes charging in.
Well, Dream goes up, but Gargano comes running across the apron. Dream drops down.
Hits a super kick, sends Dream to the mats, and then just comes flying off with a plancha. Takes down VD.
Well, all or nothing, and he hit everything then.
See the super kick. Dream lands on the mat. It's like a blockbuster plancha.
And right on those mats. And how thin are those mats now?
Those mats are wafer thin. We've sat ringside at NXT, and I think they're thinner than the ones at the WWE main stage.
Front row at NXT.
Front row at NXT.
Not that I don't want to, but if you're going to do it, do it. And Dream is dropped now in the corner. And you hear the dueling Velveteen Dream and Johnny Wrestling chants. Dream manager to Irish whip Gargano in the corner.
Well, Velveteen Dream comes charging in, but Gargano lifts his legs up. Velveteen hits the second turnbuckle. Johnny misses his roll-through kick. Velveteen hits.
Was that Famouser or leg drop there?
Famouser, yeah. Goes for the cover, but Gargano managing to kick out.
That's how close that was then. And the Dream, very innovative. Fucking never be able to say that word in my life.
Dream's very innovative with his offense.
We're not sure what he can do. Gargano over the back elbow, up to the second rope now.
Gets caught by Velveteen though. Looking for a Scorpion Deathlock. No, but rolls him through, catches him, looking for the purple Rainmaker. Backslide from Gargano, rolls him up for a cover. 2. Oh, Velveteen reverses it.
Oh.
And only gets a 2 of his own.
2. Dream was desperate there, trying to reach for the ropes for advantage. Gets kicked in the face, but responds with a big boot.
Oh, and a spinning discus lariat turns Velveteen inside out. Gargano just lays on him nonchalantly, but Velveteen managing to kick out. Reverses it. Yeah, reverses it, and Johnny Gargano goes down. Velveteen goes for a cover, but he only gets the 2.
2. I've never seen a kick out so hard. turned into another cover. Yeah, that's a pretty hard kick out. This is awesome chance. Right, again, I'm not going to argue with the NXT crowd.
I would argue with a lot of them.
But
I'd say this is epic.
This is good.
It's good.
It's warming up, you know. And Gargano Gargano goes to the apron. Looks like he's going to go up top.
Velveteen's recovering though. Grabs hold of the leg of Gargano. Both men are on the outside. We've seen what happens when you're on the outside with Velveteen Dream. So be careful, Johnny.
Well, he knows his way around the ring as Gargano striking Dream. And now he's in a precarious position, but boot to the midsection of Johnny. Like a double boot for both men. Oh no, he's got that spinning Death Valley driver.
The purple Rainmaker on the edge of the ring apron.
Purple Rainmaker's the elbow, isn't it? Gargano goes down, tries to sunset flip Dream. Dream dodges it and then sends Gargano right into the ring steps.
Throws him back into the ring.
And now he's going to try that spinning DDT. Goes for the cover. Gargano's down surely.
Oh, don't call me Shirley, but he manages to kick out.
Well, I can't believe Johnny is still in this match. And a huge NXT chart breaks out. And now Dream working a leg of Gargano. Well, of course, he injured it himself, the last man standing. Now Velveteen Dream's got some work over the leg. Still chance of Dream, still chance of Gargano. Gargano in serious trouble now. That leg wrapped up in that rope. Dream taking it to a different level now. We talked about this in his quest to become NXT champion. Picks the apron and Gargano step up into Guri. But as he kind of springboard in, Dream catches him with super kick.
Velveteen's going up top. Oh, looking for that elbow drop off the top, but Gargano moves out of the way. Velveteen hits the hardest part of the ring with his elbow. Gargano comes out flying, sends Velveteen up the ramp. Did he hurt his knee on the flight?
Well, his knee's been injured these past couple of minutes, but he's now got a mad look in his eyes and he's going to go for the Gargano escape. The Dream can tap all he wants on the outside, doesn't matter.
Referee's telling him to take it in the ring.
Well, referee's counting down Gargano. We've not seen like this before, lost it. Got mad look in his eyes.
Far away look in his eyes.
I think he realised he could be counted out. Up to 9, and the Dream's in just. And Gargano looks furious as he looks to put away Velveteen Dream now. Oh my God, he's trying to hit him DDT. Well, this is hit by Ciampa, and I call sex offenders in the past. Oh!
I didn't know you've done that move.
Hey! Super kick by Gargano.
Well, after Velveteen Dream was holding on to the top rope, preventing Gargano from dragging him in for that draping DDT. So Gargano hits a super kick, turns it round. He's got him draping off the edge of the ring apron. He's going to hit it onto the wafer thin mats on the outside.
Referee's telling him not to. He's got Menard. Referee saying, if you do it, I'm going to call for the bell. And Johnny's struggling with himself, with the crowd, his personal conflict. And he doesn't want it like that.
Into the ring.
Yeah, doesn't want it like that, Johnny. It's not who you are. And he's going to a fan of his and saying, come on. That's why you're a fan. Johnny freaking wrestling sign.
Well, he's reminding Johnny who he used to be.
Oh, Gargano now rolling up the knees. No, he's going to take him down. Dream shouting, you're a failure.
Johnny failure.
He's in his disappointment. Gargano shouts, saying, no, I'm not. Takes down a knee brace. Oh, no!
Catches him, rolling Death Valley driver. 1, 2.
Oh, my God. Velveteen Dream beats Johnny Gargano.
Velveteen Dream's #1 fan next to the Everton fan.
My God, I cannot believe it. The Dream picks up 2 huge victories in the space of a couple of weeks, beating Johnny Gargano, the former #1 contender, and now surely...
Don't call me Shirley.
Velveteen Dream's got to be #1 contender, hasn't he? He's got to be up there in the conversation.
He has indeed, yes.
And every time Gargano takes it off the ball, he gets caught. Dan, what you're...
I thought it was a bloody good match again. You know, it plays into the storyline of what's going on. It is, you know, kind of highlighting Johnny. He's been called a failure. He's saying, no, I'm not. And then he fails at this. You know, he's kind of wrestling with his own personal demons. Is this going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back?
I feel it might be. I know I've never seen Johnny Gargano like this, being caught out, Dream gets the victory. Very, very impressive. I think it was a good match towards the later stages. I could have done with a little bit more here, but I still think it was good. And the fans chanting Johnny Failure along with Johnny Wrestling. And all the fans slowly turning against Johnny Gargano. Johnny Failure, Johnny Wrestling. Do Gargano get to a point in his career where he's got to question what his motives really are? Maybe
I'm saying, sorry, little man. I'll let you down.
Well, Gargano is upset. I wonder what's next for Johnny.
No, I'm not going to say.
No, don't.
Take that child into the ring and hit the Gargano escape on him.
I wonder what's next for Johnny Gargano. He's not going to walk up the ramp.
He doesn't deserve the ramp walk.
He's just going to walk past the commentary team. And then, na, hey, goodbye. This is a guy they absolutely loved. And now because what? He's a loser? Because he's changed? The fans can't get behind him.
They're trying to push him over the edge.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself turn into a villain. So let's move on to our last episode of NXT, which is episode 468, September 2018.
Well, cameras catch NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa heading into the building for his first appearance since NXT Takeover Brooklyn. They tried to get a word from him, but he remains silent as he storms past them towards the building.
And up next, we're going to get returning Oney Lorcan teaming up with Danny Burch, one of our favourite tag teams, going against Adrian Giroud and Cesar Bononi. So we're going to start this one off, and it's Burch and Giroud. Giroud's a big man.
And these two are both Brazilians.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting little fact. Colin, know what type to start.
Obviously,
Burch.
not only Lorcan and Burch because they're British and American.
Yeah, the UK connection. Yeah, that's the catchy name, isn't it? Look how good Burch is. Headbutt to the chest.
No, they are 1 and 2. 1 and 2. You hear the crowd, they start chanting 1 and 2.
Step off his guru by Danny Burch. He started well. Looking to get back into title contention.
Missile drop kick and then nips up to his feet.
It's nice by Burch off the second rope. Looking to go back to challenge the Undisputed Era. Of course, they've got a target on their back with the War Raiders. Now here comes Oney Lorcan. Let's see if he's 100%.
Double suplex.
Well, Bononi comes in, but he doesn't want any of Lorcan and Burch.
Borkin and Lurch.
Working as a great tag team, double chops. It is good to have them back. As Burch now trying to get Giroud down.
These two guys, they've impressed us since making a debut. And what was it, the Tag Team Classic, wasn't it?
No, it was even just. They just came together. They started fighting each other, didn't they? They had the great matches against each other, and then they kind of a bit like Sheamus and Cesaro in that way. The respect for one another became a team, and like I said, they've not got the biggest personalities, but there's just something about them that is just so likable.
Yeah.
And Bononi in at the moment, and he's in charge now on Danny Burch.
But Burch managing to try and fight out, but unsuccessfully gets a knee to the gut and thrown into the corner of the blood.
But you can see the bit of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Bononi there. You can see with the throws and a few of the kicks. And he's going to be telling Drew exactly what to do in this one.
In Brazilian.
Well, this is the perfect thing as well, so the referee doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm sure Danny Burch hasn't learned Brazilian, so he won't be able to tell.
He's an intelligent fella.
Well, Portuguese as it is, and Bononi with a kick to the face of Burch goes for the cover.
Oh, but Burch managing to kick out.
And now Bononi got the arm of Burch. The crowd trying to get behind him. Bononi Irish whip the corner. Burch catches himself, rolls under the legs.
Tags in Oney Lorcan.
An uppercut city, and he grabs his face. I love this move as well.
He grabs the face of Bononi and slaps him a few times, delivers a thunderous European uppercut. One for Giroud. And he's just going crazy on the pair of them. Bang!
Oh.
Blockbusters for the both.
I tell you, Only's uppercuts got to be one of the best in the business. There's so much fire. Tags back in Burch.
1 and 2.
And looking to finish this off. Burch pick him up with suplex. Drapes him into the DDT. Oh!
Spiked DDT from the 2.
Like a
Turns him
man.
over. 2, 3.
Now in London, I was going to say. 1, 2, 3.
1 and 2.
Gets the 3. There you go. Tag team action with Burch and Lorcan. It's great to have them back in it. I've got a smile on my face.
Yeah.
I've not had a smile on my face in a long time. I got one now. Very impressive. And let's hope they can come back into tag team competition.
1 and 2.
Well, NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa comes out the ring with actual entrance music that starts with a heartbeat that flatlines.
Ah, the Black Heart. Well, Ciampa says the music is a
personal message to the audience to shut up. He says he's heard the rumours that he took out Alistair, but when he wants to attack someone, he does it on the biggest stage so you can worship your master. Ciampa says he won't lie because the champ never lies. He says he planned on taking Alistair, but someone beat him to it. If he knew who they were, he'd pat him or her on the head. He says if Alistair made it to Brooklyn, the results would be the same. He wins. Ciampa says the title has something it wants. The title has something it wants to say, and that it felt really good to be back in the main event of Takeover. Ciampa says he has one final thing to address, and he wants everyone to listen. The fact is, if you want to be a success, a winner, or a champion, follow the lead of Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa goes to the kid who Johnny spoke to during his match, takes his Ciampa sucks sign, beats it up, tears it in half, and throws it back at the kid.
Oh, thank God it's just a sign, which arranged the ears. I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up that child and hurt it. But Ciampa is laser focused now, and everything that, what I can see, but the promo and everything I've seen from Ciampa, all he cares about, his number one goal in life now, is that NXT Championship. He's got no other factors. You look at Johnny Gargano with the fans, or, Candice LeRae and other things. When Tommaso Ciampa, his number one goal, the NXT Championship, I can't see him losing that anytime. Up next is Shayna Baszler versus Violet Payne.
Yes, the crowd with a Shayna's going to kill you chant. Payne is immediately taken down. Baszler swings away and stands back up. Kick to the chest. Baszler wrenches away on Payne's arm, one way and then the other way. Baszler then stands on her hand and kicks away at her arm. Baszler with a rear naked choke, and that will end things in a hurry. Baszler hangs on for a bit long and Payne passes out.
Winner Shayna Baszler via submission.
Post-match, Baszler decides to lock her finisher one more time and Payne passes out again. Referees finally get her to stop. Oh, one more time. Payne is out again. Baszler then dumps her out to the floor and heads off.
Moments ago, Heavy Machinery were outside and on a case to figure out who attacked Aleister Black. The two believe Ciampa did it, and Ciampa happens to walk by. He approaches them and says if there's something to say it to his face. William Regal suddenly shows up and is happy Ciampa finally decided to show up. He wants Ciampa sap. Looks like we may see Ciampa versus Otis down the road.
Go on, Dozer. Well, backstage, the Undeserving Era talk about the War Raiders. Roderick Strong says they can't hide from these guys. O'Reilly says he's too famous to hide. He can't even go grocery shopping these days. Adam Cole notes next week it will be a North American champion Ricochet versus NXT UK champion Pete Dunne. It doesn't matter who wins though, because the winner is eventually going to face him. Yeah, but he deserves it because he's a cunt.
Well, he's the former North American champion, Dan. So, he deserves his contractual rematch at some point. And if Ricochet can beat Pete Dunne, then all the titles will be on the line. So it's just what happens, isn't it? Up next is Lars Sullivan versus Raul Mendoza. And, of course, Mendoza's been upset about being beaten up by Lars Sullivan recently. And Lars is making his return to in-ring action, and he's already mocking him. Of course, we've seen Lars Sullivan. Was he involved in the Aleister Black attack? We saw the clip of him.
No, he just easily took out EC3 instead.
Well, he did say that, didn't he? He said if he's going to attack anybody, he'll do it to their face. Even though he attacked EC3 from behind,
Well, we don't know that it was from behind. We haven't seen a video of that. But EC3 might have just shat himself and cried on the floor while Lars Sullivan beat him up.
Well, I tell you, someone who's not doing that at the moment is Raul Mendoza, who's headed right into Lars Sullivan. So you've got to give credit for that, going right to the beast, trying to hit the drop kicks, trying to work the big man down. I mean, that is the strategy, isn't it? Trying to chop that redwood down.
Yeah, but I don't think these kicks and punches are actually affecting Sullivan. I think they're just pissing him off, and Lars Sullivan's going to find that out very shortly, I believe.
Lars Sullivan's going to find out he's pissing him off, and he pulls Mendoza to the apron.
Mendoza's going to find out that
I think you're right. I think Sullivan is annoyed right now. So he grabs Mendoza, throws him back in.
By his head.
Do you think that's it for Raul? No, I don't think he's going to get much more offense in. Lars Sullivan's only been beaten once, and that, of course, is from Aleister Black. Oh my God. And the bill then by Lars Sullivan throwing
Mendoza
all the way across the ring.
And again throws him from pillar to post, from one corner to the other.
Well, Mendoza could be on 205 Live. You know, he's in the Cruiserweight Classic, but he decides he wants to be in NXT and he's stepping up.
Well, Mendoza's going to get thrown to 205 Live.
Oh my God, Lars Sullivan just collapses the chest of Mendoza.
And just throws him to the centre of the ring. He's just toying with his prey now. He could finish him at any point. Lars Sullivan knows this, and I think Raul Mendoza's going to find out very shortly.
Well, if I was Tommaso Ciampa, I'm a bit worried about how good Lars Sullivan looks at the moment. But Mendoza might pull something out.
Well, he tries with a chop, but that just pisses Sullivan off again, and he just gets a clubbing blow to the head and just turns him inside out.
Well, at least Mendoza tried.
He did. He did indeed.
And now he's getting his head ripped from his shoulders.
Unlike EC3, who's just cowering away at home.
Well, EC3's recovering, isn't he? I'm sure we'll see him again.
Mick Foley was thrown off of Hell in a Cell through an announce table. He was chokeslammed through it and still managed to come out for the main event. EC3 probably got slapped twice and he's crying at home into his soup.
Well, the thing is about is a lot more doctors now backstage, a lot more medical tests that can stop people coming out and actually performing. You look at Daniel Bryan with a concussion that he suffered. So there's a lot of stuff now that they try and look at, and the doctors might be looking closely to Raul Mendoza at this moment in time because he's in serious trouble with Lars Sullivan, but does get out of it. Jawbreaker now.
See, Raul Mendoza's been on the punishment end of Lars Sullivan, and yet he's still got fight in him.
Well,
EC3 gets a couple of slaps and he stays at home crying.
Well, it was clever by Mendoza there, dodging out of Lars Sullivan, who came running in, hit the ring post, shoulder first. He's got the kicks, tried the Irish Whip. I don't know if that's a great idea, but that was nice.
So, yeah, slips through the second and third rope. There's a step up in Seguri, rocks Lars Sullivan, springboards into a drop kick, hasn't dropped Sullivan. Well, he's barely going down to one knee. Mendoza could win this.
Oh, my God. There
Bang!
you go.
Pop-up freak accident. No, pop-up power slam.
Yep, big power there. And now I think it's for the freak accident next.
Well, we're just going to rip Mendoza's head off.
Oh, my God. Just clubbing booze. Come on, ref. Call this.
Not even an 8 for the punishment EC3 took, and yet Mendoza was still able to try and fight back.
And now Lars Sullivan picking him up. Freak accident. Slams Mendoza down. 1, 2, 3. I don't think anybody can stop Lars Sullivan after that. Very, very impressive for the big man here in NXT.
I'm in the top 1. But no, because he's not going to come out.
Well, 2 weeks ago we see Ricochet and Pete Dunne lose to the Undisputed Era after Ricochet mistakenly hit Dunne near the end of the match.
Well, earlier today, Pete Dunne is asked about his upcoming match against Ricochet with both titles on the line. Dunne says Ricochet has a piece of gold that he wants and has only had it for a few minutes while he's been the longest reigning champion in WWE. His biggest issue is figuring out how to put two titles in his mouth.
Well, backstage, Kathy Kelly asked Ricochet about Dunne not worrying about the match because Ricochet has only been a champion for a short period of time. Ricochet reminds him that he's been in high-pressure situations for the last 15 years of his career and fully plans on walking out with both titles next week.
Well, we get a Forgotten Sons vignette about being abandoned once they were used up, as we see 3 of them alone. They were gathered together and they are not alone. They will be heard.
Well, last week some students have been interviewed and suddenly Nymph Lacey Evans start drawing with Deanna Pruzzo and Dakota Kai. Pruzzo says this is a problem. They can handle things right now. But Evans and Nymph say no thanks and head off.
Well, next week it is Lacey Evans and Nymph versus Dakota Kai and Deanna Pruzzo.
Well, William Regal's office, they're just finishing up talking with NXT Women's Champion Kairi Sane. She heads off. In comes Cassius Ono in a Cesaro Tyson Kidd shirt. Ono said he's here to talk about the attack on Black, but Regal said he's not to speak with him. Ono seems almost bothered by this, but Regal says Sane just gave Ono an alibi, so he's good. Ono talks about being a bit annoyed that he's been forgotten about when every new shiny toy shows up in NXT. He then lets Regal know what his latest toy shows up to let him know, bro. Obviously a reference to Matt Riddle. Ono giving us some Hill vibes in that segment. But up next is Bianca Belair versus Nikki Cross. Let's go with Bianca Belair's undefeated. Nikki Cross is crazy. Bianca Belair's undefeated, Dan. Tell me something about Nikki Cross.
She crazy.
She crazy. Hooch is crazy. She looks alright, though. She's got, I like the look of Nikki Cross. I wouldn't say no. This is going to kick in a minute. I was shitting her cunt, you know.
I was shitting her cunt.
And Bianca Belair saying she's the established one here in NXT. Bianca Belair with the long hair. And Nikki Cross just shaking it, ready.
It'd be really annoying if this went to a double count out or something.
Oh my god, look at the power of Bianca Belair, like pushing away Nikki Cross. And
Hi, Bianca.
Just weaves at Bianca. Couple of blows dodged and goes under her legs. And knocks Bianca down with a scream.
Nikki's fucking crazy.
Nikki with a go behind, pushing Bianca off. And Belair, I think, has definitely got the power advantage. Shoulder block down, and that was nice by Bianca. Little cartwheel. Nikki's very impressed by that.
She just crawls underneath Bianca's legs. Monkey flips her over.
Oh my god. Head scissors teeth then. Now goes behind, jumps on her back. That's how I get most of my women. Jump on her back, make them go to sleep. Oh, Belair like fighting off Nikki Cross. I think the winner list could potentially be next in line after Shayna Baszler, of course. Look at Belair though, pressing into Nikki Cross. Shoulder blocks, picking her full body weight up.
Now she's got her in a bear hug, trying to shake the crazy out of Nikki Cross.
She's going to have to shake very car there. Looking on, Nikki Cross with a headbutt. Oh my god, going up from behind. Trying to get sunset flip, but Bianca grabs Nikki.
Throws her face first into the corner. But Nikki responds, coming out the corner with an elbow.
Nice power there by Belair though. Catching Nikki Cross and then gorilla pressing her. Oh my god, huge power there. Throws her on the floor.
And spanks herself in delight.
Well, she's the established one. Here we go. Oh! Went for the splash, but no one was there. She ate Matt. Now Nikki trying to recover.
Trying to will herself back into this.
Oh, lovely diving cross body by Nikki, but she don't want to go for the cover. Just
bounce. Yeah, she just wants to bounce Belair's head off the mat. 2 clotheslines and a Fez press.
Well, pissed on fire. And now into the corner. Stomping the mud hole, walking it dry. Jess Carr's losing a little bit of control of this at the moment.
And Bianca Belair's probably wishing she never took this match up as Nikki Cross with a stinger splash. Now Nikki's going up top.
No.
She's more intent with headbutting the top turnbuckle though.
We've already seen it once. Are we going to see the Nikki Cross body? No, Bianca Belair rolls on the apron.
Is that going to stop Nikki? No. She sweeps her legs out from Belair, traps her in the ring apron and just starts clubbing away at her chest.
Oh my god. Well, Nikki loving her work at the moment. Belair's gone missing. Oh, Belair like sends Nikki into the stairs.
Back first. Sorry, is that racist? Back first.
Might hurt her kidneys and wogs.
Oh, and then whips Nikki across the stomach with her hair.
Is that not a disqualification? That's a weapon.
Well, Nikki seems to get pleasure out of it.
Well, Jess Carr counting and cross stopping Bianca Belair getting in the ring.
This looks painful.
And now she's got the sleeper hold on her. And she just splat Nikki Cross up against the metal entranceway. Jessica Carr counts both women out.
Well, that would be a pin when her hair's draped across her. 1, 2, 3.
If they don't do that, they should. And that would be brilliant. My God, both women counted out there. Dan, what did you think?
You know, this is kind of protecting both women as well. You know, Nikki Cross is on a bit of a hot streak. She's crazy. We've seen her smiling as she gets choked out by Shayna Baszler. You know, we've not seen her back out from many challenges or any challenges whatsoever. And, you know, Bianca Belair, I don't know what the hot biz about her is, but there's something that NXT love about her, and they're clearly protecting her as well.
Well, now she's recovered and beating the hell out of Nikki Cross. Sends her into the 8th, and this fight is not over at the moment.
We're going to have a last woman standing match between these two.
Well, we've seen Nikki Cross do it before. The officials down here.
You need more officials than that. And Nikki Cross is going crazy, chasing Belair out of here. They're up by the announcers table now.
Oh, my word.
And both women going hell for leather at each other.
Bianca Belair, though, might have a slight advantage at the moment, just beating down Nikki.
That man can't get his camera out fast enough.
She breaks free from it, though. And she's going to send Nikki Cross into the announce team.
Well, they all scramble away. I wouldn't turn your back just yet, Bianca.
Oh, my God, takes out. Well, I know, but Nikki Cross is alive. And she's on the announce table. Ah!
Flying crossbody takes out Belair, dancing ref, and Jess Carr.
Oh my god, and she's loving the damage she's just inflicted. Well, don't doubt Nikki Cross is crazy. And we end here with a lot of this. Dan, what have you thought of NXT this month?
It's been entertaining. It's been great to see the return of Oney Lorcan. You know, the fallout from what's happened as well. It's all been good. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Some great matches as well.
Yeah, no, NXT has been good this week. Only 3 episodes that we have watched. But like I say, next month we're going to bring you Pete Dunne versus Ricochet, which, I mean, worth the price of admission alone, even though we don't charge for podcasts, you know. So that is it for NXT this month. Like I say, we'll be back next month. And next month's show, we've got Cruiserweight title on the line, which is going to be Gulak versus Alexander. And we're going to have UK champ versus North America champ Ricochet versus Pete Dunne. Plus a lot more. Our next episode will be Hell in the Cell. We are looking forward to that. That'll be the WNR179. But that's it for today, the WNR178. And don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at WWE Network Review or
at Vince McDan, WWE.
I'm at J_Rollins. We're also across the Google platforms. Send us an email at WNRpodcast@gmail.com. We're on Facebook.
Yes, Facebook. Come and find our page and give us a like with the WWE Network Review podcast. Or you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDam.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, WWE Network Review podcast there. Podcast got the same time on YouTube to do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
Don't forget to subscribe to our Music Maker Diddley on SoundCloud. We're on Spreaker Radio. We've got live shows coming November, Stitcher Radio and iTunes, where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But that is it. Like I say, Hell in a Cell is next. I have been James Rollins, and as always joined by
Damn right.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.
Bye.